for this ACC battle. Parker Grodhaus has a big leg. He kicks off. And it is returnable. A fair catch made. Play blown dead by Dwayne Height, the referee. So here comes North Carolina, and the leader of that prolific offense is Sam Howell, already a history-making quarterback, set the single-season ACC true freshman yardage mark last year with better than 3,600.
And his decision-making is what impresses me for a young guy. 38 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions a year ago. Kind of on that same pace. It's an offensive system that puts a lot on the quarterback, and he is more than capable of handling it physically and mentally.
Sophomore from the Charlotte area, Indian Trail, North Carolina. You hear some boos. He was once committed to Florida State and changed his mind when there was a coaching change with the Seminoles. Hands it off to Michael Carter, their leading rusher, 138 yards per game. That's second in the country behind Khalil Herbert of Virginia Tech, the team they dispatched last week and ran all over on their way to a high-scoring victory over the Hokies, 56-45. Carter outside, first down and much more. And we should add, Todd, it was a Florida State defense that got gashed over and over again at Notre Dame by the Irish ground game last week.
Notre Dame had 2 backs go over 100 yards. They had a bunch of big plays, 9 runs of 10 yards or more. That's what North Carolina is going to test on this Florida defense, Florida State defense tonight. Can they hold up against the run? Can they show some discipline in their run fits?
Notre Dame rushed for 8.5 yards per carry last week against the Seminole defense. They trip up Carter. Marvin Wilson, outstanding defensive tackle on the stop. Let's say hello to Todd McShay.
Hey, Sean. At 25 just checked in. Javonte Williams, who's part of this duo, I think the best running back duo in all of college football. He's a bigger, stronger runner. But what I love about Carter, who just checked out, is that he's averaging 11.6 yards per carry between the tackles as a 199-pound back.
Limited sample. They're 3-0. They've played Syracuse, Boston College, and Virginia Tech. And Williams dumped for a loss. Nice play by Janarius Robinson, 5th-year senior defensive end out of Panama City.
And this is what they have to have. They have to have some negative yardage plays. Watch Robinson hold the edge. The run fit is perfect. Keeps him inside. And they get a negative yardage play, and they force a 3rd down passing situation now.
3rd down and 11. Amazing how much noise 19,000 people can make. They brought a blitz, and the ball dropped by Bo Corrales. So a terrific start for the Florida State defense. And Ben Kiernan comes on to punt. Sophomore from Dublin, Ireland. His family moved to this country when he was 15 years old to the Raleigh, North Carolina area. And Travis Jay is back deep. Florida State holds and has an equalizer in special teams, and they immediately get a big play. A block punt. And they'll have great field position near the 20. We spoke with John Papuchis, the special teams coordinator for the Seminoles. He said, I think we can block a punt. We're going to overload one side with 4 men. And the other side came untouched.
Yeah, the overload side drew those up blockers, and they got the block. And that's their 4th block kick of the season now. They had 2 blocked field goals and a blocked extra point in the opener against Georgia Tech. That's a huge momentum play early for the Seminoles.
John Papuchis, terrific coach. Coached at North Carolina on Larry Fedora's staff. Ja'Kai Douglas blocked the punt. Papuchis said, one of the reasons I love coaching for Mike Norvell is he takes special teams very seriously. They spent a lot of time working on it, and it has paid off immediately. Nifty run. It's Jordan Travis, the quarterback, with a Florida State touchdown. And we welcome welcome those of you watching on ABC. Mike Norvell's Florida State Seminoles have just taken a 6-0 lead against Mack Brown and North Carolina, the 5th-ranked team in the country. North Carolina had the ball first. They were forced to punt. The punt was blocked, and it didn't take long for the Noles to capitalize.
Watch Tamon Fox get fooled by the great fake. Watch how patient Jordan Travis is with the fake. Fox is fooled. He doesn't get back outside, and Jordan Travis has proven ever since he took over in the second quarter of the Jacksonville State game, this is a different football team with him running the show.
And Ryan Fitzgerald adds the extra point. Jordan Travis making his second career start. The first was last week at Notre Dame. As Todd said, he came in against Jacksonville State, an FCS team, when they were trailing 14-0, and that was after opening the year 0-2. He gave them an immediate spark, and he's clearly their starting quarterback, and the special teams play huge here at the beginning.
Watch the 3 personal protectors. They are all forced to go to one side. Nobody picks up the backside. A huge difference-making play on the first special teams play. And then the very next play, Jordan Travis on the zone read keep. Beautiful job selling the fake and then showing his running ability. Ran for 96 yards against Notre Dame in South Bend last week. And a touchdown. This one gets the Seminoles on the board first in this huge game at home.
And we heard Mike Norvell say after that Notre Dame game, they're not about moral victories here in Florida State. But they did take away some confidence out of that loss at Notre Dame. They moved the ball very effectively from out of that game against the Irish.
Sean, the last 2 games, they've been a completely different team. Scoring, moving the ball, and it's because of Jordan Travis. He came in that second quarter, and this offense has been different with him.
Parker Grodhaus kicks off again. It'll be a touchback. Here's Sam Howell for the second time leading this North Carolina offense. Set the state record for total yardage in high school. As we said, in the Charlotte area, was committed to Florida State, but changed to North Carolina. And last year he shattered the true freshman touchdown record with 38 touchdown passes. Trevor Lawrence has thrown 30. The overall freshman touchdown mark held by Jameis Winston. He was a redshirt freshman when he threw 40 touchdown passes for these Florida State Seminoles.
What a start for Florida State. They get a stop from their defense, first possession, special teams play, and a touchdown.
The handoff to Michael Carter. Up the middle and dragged down by Steven Dix, a true freshman who's getting the start at middle linebacker tonight. He's outplayed the senior Leonard Warner, so he's in there.
Yeah, Warner had a bunch of starts, 20 in his career, but the coaches just told us Steven Dix has been more effective. He's been more productive, and he made a nice play there on the inside run.
Under duress, the pass still complete to Dyami Brown, but he's out of bounds about 2 yards short of the first down.
Well, last week, again, this North Carolina offense really hit their stride, particularly running the football. Nearly 400 yards, and the struggles that Florida State had at Notre Dame. I mean, that's why Phil Longo, the offensive coordinator, is going to keep trying this Florida State front to see if they hold up.
This is the first time North Carolina has trailed this season. Howell batted down, incomplete. Asante Samuel, outstanding cornerback. Batted away from Dyami Brown, and it's the second punt as many possessions for the Eagles.
The majority of the North Carolina pass offense is RPO, so the line and the backs are running a running play. The quarterback and the wide receivers are reading whether to throw. That time, the coverage was tight. Howell had to kind of double clutch on the throw, and he's actually lucky it didn't get picked off, Sean.
We saw Samuel. He's a takeaway machine. He's had at least 1 in 4 straight games. Kiernan's punt gets away this time. And the Tar Heels will down it near the 31-yard line. Fast-paced start for Jordan Travis and the Noles up 7-0. Back on offense after this. Football presented by Capital One. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. 3 ACC teams in the top 5 in the AP rankings this week. Clemson, Notre Dame, and North Carolina. Tigers and Irish have already won today. Tar Heels trying to make it 3 for 3. But down 7-0. Jordan Travis shows his elusiveness and goes ahead for a 3-yard gain as we look at our Chick-fil-A impact players.
Well, for Florida State, they're without their big play receiver, Tamarian Terry, who's out with an injury. So Ontario Wilson is the guy they're hoping will step up. And for the North Carolina defense, Chaz Surratt is the leading tackler. But Jeremiah Gemmel, they think he might be the most important guy on their defense because he's their signal caller, the quarterback of that defense.
Junior from Noonan, Georgia. And Chaz Surratt alongside him, number 21, are the 2 leading tacklers on this Tar Heel defense. Moving along the line.
Raymond Vahasek is saying it went against Florida State. They're happy to have him back. He didn't play last week against Virginia Tech, and he's their best interior defensive lineman. May have got off the ball a little early there.
Defense, number 51, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Yeah, I really think with the triangle of Vahasek and then Gemmel and Surratt behind him, that's the strength of this defense. And in the back end, number 2, Don Chapman, the safety, really outstanding players. They've got some other guys that are young and talented but inexperienced, but those guys can play.
Out of the pistol, the Damian Webb is the running back. They faked it to him and the ball dropped. Looked like a bit of a flutter ball. Chance for an impact play from your impact player, Ontario Wilson, and he dropped it.
And Chapman was right there, number 2, the safety. And I agree with Todd. He's all over the field when you study him on tape. And he had 9 tackles a week ago. And he's the guy that just plugs the holes and does all the dirty work.
Sophomore is Chapman after the pump fake, a low throw for Warren Thompson. That loss of Tamarian Terry is big. When we spoke with Jay Bateman, the defensive coordinator for the Tar Heels, said we were planning on doubling him a lot of the night. Now we don't have to do that.
Yeah, they did a great job against Notre Dame of isolating him in one-on-one situations, putting formation into the boundary and him to the field. And he made a bunch of big plays, and that's why they've got to have somebody step up. Wilson has the speed. He doesn't have the same size as Terry, but Wilson has to do it.
Alex Mastromano to punt, freshman from Melbourne, Australia. Tamarian Terry had a knee scope for a minor meniscus issue. They hope he's back in 2 or 3 weeks. And the punt out of bounds near the 20-yard line, and we welcome in Molly McGrath.
Well, Sean, UNC's offensive coordinator Phil Longo was just speaking very closely with Sam Howell, his quarterback, saying don't let how this game started get into your head. You need to block out all the noise. Just as Florida State's fan section was heckling Howell, as you guys mentioned, Howell decommitted from Florida State, and the fan section is not letting him forget about it. So he's managing those emotions. And running back Michael Carter also managing some emotions tonight. He's from nearby Navarre, Florida. He has over 20 family members in the stands, and he never got an offer from Florida State, and that's something he hasn't forgotten either.
He was excited to play here in Tallahassee against the Seminoles. There's the Carter family, some of them. Maybe trip over from the panhandle. West of here. Howell on target. And it's Joffrey Brown, the younger brother of Giammi Brown. A nice run after the catch. And a first down for North Carolina.
And a beautiful read. Watch Sam Howell. Again, most of this is run-pass option. He sees the corner blitz, and the ball's out right now. I mean, you just can't defend it if he sees it and reacts that quickly.
Monte Williams, the running back. Howell faked it to him. Wanted to launch it deep. Now running for his life. Turns it into a gainer. After the 14-yard pass play, they get 3 on the scramble from Sam Howell.
When they played BC a couple weeks ago, the Eagles were able to generate pressure and really kind of collapse the pocket. And Sam Howell showed his ability to move and to run. Doesn't do it all the time, but he can move his feet when he needs to.
So Longo compares him to Drew Brees. Similar size, throwing motion. Running off tackle. Williams just runs over a defender and blasts his way into Seminole territory at the 45. He said hello and goodbye to Renardo Green.
Yeah, this is the power running. Number 8 is a little more shifty. This guy, you got to make a business decision when you go to tackle Javonte Williams, because he's going to lower that shoulder and lower the boom. A lot of yards after contact. That's kind of been his MO the last 2 years.
Here he comes again. The last year on 31% of his carries, nearly a third, he averaged 5 yards or more after contact. And this year, averaging 3.7 broken tackles per game. 5'10", 220, lightly recruited out of high school. Wallace Rose Hill High School in North Carolina. Here's the valedictorian of his high school class. Howell saying, I can run. Maybe not. Oh, he tried to shove down one of the would-be Seminole tacklers. He says he has some friends on that team from recruiting visits. He made some relationships, and he's kept in touch with some of the Seminoles.
They're not friends anymore.
No.
You got to protect the football. You know, I mean, it's nice to be tough and show your toughness, but you better make sure you take care of the football. And that play is just to show Florida State he will keep it. That helps the inside run.
3rd down and 6, probably not in field goal range. Some movement, and there is a flag to stop the play. Crowd didn't hear the whistle. And Corey Durden had crossed the line of scrimmage.
Prior to the ball being snapped. False start. Offense. Number 1. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And he was drawn off by the wide receiver, Joffrey Brown.
Well, that's a tough break. I mean, that goes 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 11. Plays into the hands of the Florida State defense. This Florida State defense historically has been a great pass rush tradition team. Not this year with their front 4. They're last in the league with 3 sacks and only 17 tackles for loss. But this is a great opportunity for them to see if they can create the kind of pass rush we're used to seeing from the Seminoles.
Such a far cry. They were a powerhouse for a couple of decades. Big hit on Javonte Williams. The favor return by Jaden Lars Woodby. And it's 4th down and 5 and a decision for Mack Brown from the 40-yard line.
Pretty good pressure by Janarius Robinson. Watch him close the pocket. Hal has to kind of sidearm sling it out of there. And then a nice hit right at the point of the catch.
Conversation among the officials here, not sure what this is about. Wayne Haight will let us know.
Throwing on the field is an incomplete pass. 4th down. Please reset the game clock to 7 minutes and 6 seconds. 7:06.
Yeah, I think he definitely dropped the football. That's why I was surprised they had the ball up there halfway where it would have been a decision for Mack Brown, but 4th and 11, there is no decision. This was just perfectly timed on the hit. You see that ball, he never completes another move, doesn't secure the catch, and that's the right call, being incomplete.
And I talked to Mack before the game. He said, listen, it's new to me, it's the analytics, but if we get to 4th down around midfield or beyond, and it's 4 yards to go, we're going to go for it. 11's too much.
They get a piece of the punt again. And rolls dead at the 29-yard line. Big Marvin Wilson, that 305-pound defensive tackle, with his 3rd block kick of the season. The other 2 against Georgia Tech. Those were field goals for Larry Jones.
Slow motion isn't helping him at all.
Was that slow motion, or was he just not moving very fast? By his own admission, not a great player, but one of the great coaches of all time. One of the few things he hasn't done in his coaching career is beat Florida State. He is 0-9 against his alma mater, 0-6 as the head coach of the Tar Heels, 0-3 when he was at Tulane. And Damian Webb, no gain there. Tyrone Hopper leading the way for Mack Brown's defense.
You know, the key for this defense, Jay Bateman, Tommy Thigpen, co-defensive coordinators, is to get the two linebackers, Gemmel and Surratt, to the ball. And when that happens, they play good defense. That time, Surratt flowed and made the play right at the line of scrimmage.
He's a young man who made the transition from quarterback to linebacker. He was the starting quarterback here a couple of years ago as a freshman. Hurt his wrist, decided he wanted to make a transition to linebacker. Webb, again, said, I want to play in the NFL. I didn't think my future in the NFL would be as a quarterback. So I went to the coaches and said, I want to play linebacker. His parents are here. He said his dad, Kevin, a primary influence in that. He said, your brother Sage, great wide receiver in Wake Forest. Think about wide receiver. He said, well, I thought the quarterbacks who might take my place might not be good enough to get me the ball. Yeah. He said, if I had known we were going to wind up with Sam, right, I might have transitioned to wide receiver. But he is certainly on the NFL radar. First team All-ACC as a linebacker last year. In his first year since his freshman year in high school at that position.
And he's a quick study, that's for sure.
And Travis's pass incomplete, trying to rifle one to Warren Thompson.
And how cool would it be if both of these guys get drafted on day 2, where I project them, Chaz and Sage? You know, Sage is at the wide receiver position, Chaz at linebacker. He is so quick with his instincts, and he's so good at closing in terms of his closing burst. As a tackler, as a pass rusher, he's got a lot of talent. I think he's just going to continue to get better.
Yeah, and you know, with that speed and athleticism, he'll be able to cover, you know, backs and slot receivers and tight ends at the next level too. He'll be very valuable.
Alex Mastromano to punt again. Very little on offense for FSU, but the punt block, the key play in the game. And a piece of 2, North Carolina punts. Fair catch made by Daz Newsome. Mack Brown, winningest active coach, looking for number 255 tonight. Welcome you back to Tallahassee. Number 5, North Carolina, winners of 6 straight games dating back to last season, down 7-0 here in the first quarter.
Watch Daz Newsome. Hasn't touched the ball yet. We'll get him the ball quickly this possession.
Michael Carter, lots of running room. Good open field tackle to deny him first down yardage. At least Brendan Gant back up, cornerback, sophomore from Lakeland.
Just too much space, too much green space in this Florida State run defense right now. I mean, that's a first down run. You get 9 yards. I mean, you got everything at your disposal if you're Phil Longo offensively. Maybe even take a shot here at 2nd and short.
It's Howell again. They don't run him very often. That's a couple of design runs for him, and that one gets the first down. Carter and Williams, they think they're the best duo in the country. They have been the most productive, combining for 232 rushing yards per game and 303 scrimmage yards per game. Most of any duo in the country, not just running backs. Matter of fact, number 2 at 278 yards per game combined. Najee Harris, running back, Jalen Waddle, receiver for Alabama. 1st and 10. Carter trying to dance away and could not. Another good tackle, this one by Travis Jay.
Sean, Carter is from the Florida Panhandle, and Mack Brown told me when the schedule changed due to COVID, Carter was the first player to run up to him with a huge smile on his face, say, Coach, I finally get to play in Tallahassee. And Carter has nearly 20 family members in the stands, and his dad, Tony, told me their entire hometown of Navarre shut down. They're all here tonight, and all these native Floridians are wearing Carolina blue for the very first time.
His dad, Tony, spent 20 years in the Air Force as a technical sergeant from a big military area out there by Pensacola. Nice run by Javonte Williams. He's across midfield and out of bounds at the Knowles 45-yard line with a 15-yard run.
Again, playing run defense is about discipline, holding your gap, and tackling well. And you see the freshman linebacker, Steven Dix, miss a tackle. The other thing you'll see from this North Carolina offense, their wide receivers are big-time playmakers, but they're excellent blockers.
And if they don't block, they don't see the field. Here's Javonte Williams again, welcoming the contact as he lowers his head at the end of the run. He got another first down with an 11-yard gain to the 34.
I'm not saying it's Reggie Bush and Lendale White, but there's definitely some thunder lightning here. And when 25 gets the ball, you better strap it up and be ready to go. He is so physical when he runs behind his pads, and he's going to knock you out.
Called the block of the tight end, Garrett Walston. That's a good blocker and receiver. They don't throw it to him much because they have so many weapons outside. Javonte Williams again, that's 5 more.
Well, I think you got to also credit this offensive line. Joshua Ezeudu missed the first 2 games. He's back now at left guard, big number 75. The right side of this offensive line, McKeithen and Tucker, I mean, that's a lot of beef, 73 and 74. And they are athletic. I mean, they move to the next level. And so all this run success starts with those guys up front.
Those two are 330 and 335 respectively. Carter dumped for a loss. Back at the 31-yard line. Derek McClendon, backup defensive end, redshirt freshman from Decatur, Georgia. They'll play a lot. The folks up front on defense, coordinated by Adam Fuller.
Well, the guy Adam Fuller hopes will really come through soon is Joshua Kaindoh. He's right here, number 13. They think he could be their best pass rusher.
Fuller brings pressure. Howell got spun around, and they'll take him down. Back at the 37-yard line. Just the 4th sack of the year for the Noles defense.
Well, it was Kaindoh. He's the guy that's going to start this. He's going to beat the left tackle, Asim Richards. He's going to put pressure on Sam Howell. Howell tries to step up and right into some Garnet jerseys waiting for him. And again, a team that only had 3 sacks coming into the ball game just got their 4th.
Corey Durden and DJ Lundy. And now high anxiety for Carolina, as Ben Kiernan's had a couple of his punts blocked. Keyshawn Helton lets it bounce, and the Tar Heels covered nicely. They down it at the 3-yard line. Kick off your Week 6 NFL Sunday with the Countdown Crew. That's tomorrow morning, 10 Eastern on ESPN and the app. And this week, Monday Night Football, America's team, the Arizona Cardinals, as we call them in the beautiful Valley of the Sun, at least I do, taking on Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern time.
Sean, this is a place where Jordan Travis has to be very smart with the football. Everything is going well for your team right now.
Except this.
Yeah. You can't do something foolish trying to make a big play and allow North Carolina a short field.
Number 6, half the distance to the goal, remains first down.
Well, with the exception of his touchdown run, Travis's.
Yeah.
On the first play after the block punt, they haven't done anything on offense. He has not completed a pass, 0 for 3. And they have just 28 yards rushing. They bring pressure, he throws out of the end zone, batted down. Patrice Rene, a nice play. And I think we're already seeing that the absence of Maurian Terry is huge. North Carolina said they would have to double team him in a lot of situations. None of these other receivers really scared that much.
Right, and this far backed up, no cushion. I mean, they are squeezing the routes, and right now you're right. They don't think there's anybody that can run by them on the back end of this defense.
Damian Webb is the running back. Travis accelerates ahead. He's from Palm Beach County. Came to a lot of Seminole football games and baseball games as a kid. His brother Devin Travis is an All-American infielder here from Lake Martin on the baseball team. He's played for the Toronto Blue Jays, battling injuries in recent years, but trying to come back, and the two are very close.
Also has a sister that goes to school here too, right?
Jada, younger sister, is a Seminole as well. 3rd down and 6. It's a long drive he made every weekend when he was 9 and 10 years old to come watch his brother play with his parents. Travis, beautiful play design and execution. formation. Preston Daniel, the tight end, swung down at the 44-yard line by the safety Cam Kelly.
What a perfect call, because Jazz Surratt was blitzing right from the area that the tight end went. Take a look at Surratt come on the blitz. They roll away from him, and that voided area is wide open for the big play on third down. 7-0 Florida State. When you run a play, you've got to control the two linebackers, Chaz Surratt and Joshua Gimmel. Watch how they do that. They're going to run the receivers off. They're going to roll the quarterback and slip the tight end out. Surratt's coming on a blitz. Gimmel goes with the fake, and they get the big play on third down. Jeremiah Gimmel had to go with the quarterback that way, and the blitz by Surratt just opened up that voided area.
False start. Offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That play was the last play of the first quarter, and look at the celebration on the sideline. That's Preston Daniel, his first career catch. He's a walk-on, not on scholarship, true freshman from Memphis. What a thrill for him. Longest play of the night, first completion of the night for Florida State. Travis 1 out of 5 for 36 yards. Got it off with the rush coming, and has an open receiver. Ontario Wilson dives toward the pylon. Touchdown. There's Kenny Dillingham, the offensive coordinator, pushing the right buttons for the Noles here in the first half.
Beautiful play call. And a great job, as you'll see when we show this, by the running back, Jashawn Corbin, getting enough of a piece of the blitzing cornerback, Patrice Rene, to allow his quarterback to make the throw. Wow.
Kenny Dillingham said some of our other receivers have to step up tonight without
On the field
Marion
is
Terry.
a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
And make sure it's a touchdown. Was he out of bounds as he went along the far sideline? Don Chapman, who hustled all the way down there. Unfortunately, we don't have goalpost cam. We have cams everywhere. Looks like he's in there. Still in. That's a touchdown. Don't you think?
It looked close that his heel touched a couple times, but I'm not sure. It was ruled a touchdown, right?
Well, that looks like around the 6 or 7 yard line. He might be out of bounds. We have Bill Lamonier back with us tonight, which is a thrill for all of us. I can see him in his palatial estate in suburban Chicago. He's eating, so I don't know if I want to interrupt.
No, glad to help. Glad to help out here, Sean.
Remember Billy Lemons.
Comes down on the sideline. This should be reversed.
Yeah, there it is. Clear as a bell there. Peter Voss is the replay official.
I think that was actually the second foot that came down. I think the left foot came down first, a little bit further back. Still a tremendous effort by both Wilson. Great effort by Jordan Travis to get rid of that ball under duress. And again, Jashawn Corbin with the block to allow the play to happen.
Peter Voss, the name will be familiar to a lot of football fans. He's head coach at Allegheny College, College of the Holy Cross in Worcester, Mass. Won the World Bowl in NFL Europe as the head coach of the Berlin Thunder. Helping him in our truck as one of our producers tonight is Ben Hogg, who worked in public relations for the Berlin Thunder. And Peter was the head coach. You never know when you're going to reconnect. I think now the only question is where do you spot the ball? You seem to understand on both sides it's not a touchdown.
Watch the block by Corbin. There's going to be a blitzing cornerback coming from over here. And Travis is going to roll away from it a little bit. Enough of a block right there that allows him to get rid of the football. And then again, the tremendous effort by Wilson. You see the speed that Wilson has, Sean. That's why they thought he could be that guy. Maybe he could step up.
And Kenny Dillingham said the difference with Travis is because of his ability to move, he can keep you out of negative plays, avoid sacks, scramble to throw somebody open, and he's a factor in the running game. He was their third different starting quarterback. James Blackman, the incumbent, started the first two. Then they went to a true freshman, Tate Rodemaker, in that game against Jacksonville State. They fell behind 14-0. part of the reason they didn't go to Travis earlier is because he was sick for a lot of the preseason. Missed about 3 weeks of practice time. But he has ignited this team.
Oh, and there's no question. I mean, it started when he came in that Jacksonville State game. They were down 14-0. He took them right down the field for a touchdown.
After further review, the ball carrier stepped out of bounds at the 4-yard line. It will be first and goal at the 4.
I'm sure right now Kenny Dillingham, they were preparing for that. Mike Norvell saying, look, let's assume we've got to run goal line plays here. And this is where the quarterback run becomes an even bigger factor with a guy like Jordan Travis.
I was just going to say, with Travis, you can tell this whole offense believes in him. And part of it's the toughness that he shows hanging in the pocket like we just saw, and also the toughness as a runner.
Yep.
Started his career at the University of Louisville. Basically there for one semester. Was a backup here last year in his first year with the Noles. He's in trouble. He got it off. And an incomplete pass intended for Todd McShay in the back of the end zone. Tyrone Hopper put the pressure on.
Yeah, really good pressure by Hopper. I mean, he came quickly. I don't think that Travis wanted to throw as early as he did, but he did a good job of not killing the play and getting a negative yardage play, throwing it away.
McShay didn't even move. Handsome blue suit. Travis splits out. He played some wide receiver earlier this year. It's LaDamian Webb who got away from Bahasic. He lunged for the pylon. And there is a flag down.
I think it's a dead ball. I think that the whistle wasn't heard, but it was a dead ball.
Offense, number 46, moving forward at the snap. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
They've had a number of those.
See, here's what I don't like. I don't like taking a good running quarterback, Jordan Travis, out of behind the center right now. And you go to this Wildcat. Here's the penalty right here on the fullback. You know, it's a different voice, it's a different cadence, it's a different feel, and you get a penalty. And I'm not saying that the Wildcat isn't effective and he's not good, but you already have a great runner and a quarterback in Jordan Travis. Why take him out of the quarterback position where now the defense isn't thinking throw at all in that particular play?
David Stickles, a backup tight end, fourth on the tight end depth chart, is lined up there in the backfield. I remember when Terrell Pryor was the quarterback at Ohio State and Jim Tressel was the head coach, and the Wildcat was kind of all the rage. I asked Jim Tressel one time, how come you don't run the Wildcat? He said, well, we think our cat's pretty wild and he gets the ball.
Exactly right.
And, Jordan Travis, the same could be said of him.
Well, see, with him there, now the defense has to realize it could be a pass, it could be a quarterback run. And when you run the quarterback, you pick up an extra blocker. That's why teams like to run Wildcat or run their quarterback.
Jayshon Corbin, the running back, transfer from Texas A&M. Goes out to the left. Travis wrapped up and swung down. Big sack from that safety that Todd Square had been talking about. Don Chapman, an emerging star in his sophomore year from San Diego.
It was a late blitz by Chapman. Watch him time it up. He's out there. He comes late. It's only a 4-man rush. It's not a full blitz. It was zone coverage behind it. That's why Travis had nowhere to go with the football. A well-timed and well-executed blitz called by Jay Bateman and executed by Don Chapman.
Well, they thought they had a 2-touchdown lead. Now they'll hope for a 10-point advantage as Ryan Fitzgerald, the redshirt freshman, comes on to try a chip shot, and line drives it through from 24 yards. Well, it wasn't a touchdown to Ontario Wilson, but it set them up for the three-pointer. Early in the second quarter in Tallahassee, 10-point lead for the Noles. Streaming live on ESPN3 and the app. I think that means you can watch the whole game from Sky. Yeah. Is that what it is?
I think so.
Parker Grotehouse kicks off. Michael Carter watches it sail over his head. Here's Kevin Nagandi back in the studio. Good evening, Kevin.
Good evening, Sean. Time now for our Protection Spotlight, brought to you by Allstate. We'll take a look at a great touchdown play in Tuscaloosa. Nice protection against that Georgia defense. Mac Jones, 40 yards to John Mechie with Nick Saban on the sidelines. Alabama's offense striking first, 7-0 over Georgia.
That was the big news of the day. Apparently the positive test earlier in the week for Coach Saban was a false positive. Several negative tests. He was cleared to go.
I think Sam Howell and this offense is going to need to try to stretch this defense a little bit. They have not tried to attack vertically yet. They've got the receivers to do it. The running game's doing fine.
And they stick with the running game. Javonte Williams did well to stay on his feet. Boy, he's hard to tackle. Great balance there. He got almost 10. It'll be second and a half a yard. Asante Samuel tripped him up, and Carter stands in for Williams.
What a great duo. I mean, they keep each other fresh. They challenge each other. They've got enough of a different style that it gives the defense a different look and feel.
They both had their career high last week. Williams ran for 169, Carter for 214. Carter can catch it as well, and he gets just enough for the first down with a yard to spare. Fifth possession for the Tar Heels. 4 punts, 2 of them blocked. One blocked toward the goal line, the other one deflected and flooded across the line of scrimmage.
The only thing that this offense hasn't done as much as they did last year is complete those deep balls down the field. They had 2 last week. Sam Howell was 0 of 8 on those kind of throws the first 2 games.
In the flat for Javonte Williams. Nice tackle by Stephen Dix. One thing, especially after watching Florida State play Notre Dame last week, the tackling is better for the Noles tonight.
It is. I mean, they look more sound. They look like their gap control is better and their tackling in space better. North Carolina still has 92 yards rushing, but they're not gashing them the way that Notre Dame did a week ago.
They played hard all the way to the end. The coaches have been preaching effort, effort, effort. When you think you're playing hard enough, you're not. There's Williams trying to turn the corner. Got pinballed around. He's a yard short of the first down. And Adam Fuller mentioned it. Mike Norvell mentioned it. You know, the game is over. Under 3 minutes to go. They're down by 16. But Florida State rose up on a goal line stand. Stopped Chris Tyree twice.
I think that's huge. I think it showed the team had fight. The team wanted to finish the game. Mike Norvell told us he was celebrating big time on the sideline after that play.
Third down and 1. Carter found a seam across midfield for the first down. Travis Jay to tackle for Florida State.
To Todd's point, at some point, North Carolina has got to take a shot vertically. Keep an eye on number 2, De'Ami Brown. He's their best deep receiver.
2 and 5 both have the speed to go by people. They just haven't tried it yet.
Feels like they are due. Michael Carter turns the corner. Williams isn't the only one in that backfield who wants to run somebody over. They'll spot him out back near the 43-yard line, a gain of 6.
I thought it was really interesting when we talked to Mack Brown and we talked to him about hiring Phil Longo and what he wanted offensively. And he said, you know, in Texas, I coached against Leach and I coached against Kingsbury in that air raid offense. And I always thought I'd love to see that blended with a more power running game the way Lincoln Riley's kind of doing in Oklahoma now. And he thinks he has that with Phil Longo and what they've got right now.
Nice play and a completion to Daz Newsome. And Mack told us after he left Texas, and it didn't end there the way he would have liked, he joined us in television and did a great job. He said he just paid attention when he'd meet with coordinators, offensive and defensive coordinators, who made an impression on him. He learned a lot about football, different styles of football. And he remembered meeting with Phil Longo and with Jay Bateman. They weren't really household names. Longo, longtime small college coach, was the head coach of the program, went at LaSalle. Jay Bateman was at Army. So these are men who made a major impression on them as people, but also played a style that Mac wanted to play if he got back into coaching.
Played a style that he liked, and I think he also liked that they did well and had success with lesser players. And he said, I can put them into a system where they're going to have better players around them, and they'll be even better.
Second down and 8. Clock at 5. Ninth play of this drive. And a timeout call as the play clock was about to expire.
Timeout. North Carolina.
8:36 to go till halftime. 10-0 Seminoles. We're told that it wasn't, just slipped down as she was speaking to. Give her the benefit of the doubt. Quick pitch. Michael Carter. Run down at the 28 by Joshua Kado. Should mention Florida State's played all season without Hamza Nasruddin, who's their leading tackler the last 2 years. Secondary player who got hurt against Florida last year. Leg injury, still working his way back. That's a big loss.
Yeah. I mean, he's not only a tackling machine and a leader, but he is also, a real presence. Now, they've been good on third down so far tonight. North Carolina 1 for 5. They were 6 for 10 last week against Virginia Tech.
Two key players who both wear number 5, not available for the Seminoles tonight, but they lead 10-0. There's Javonte Williams, didn't quite get the first down, stopped by Amari Gaynor. Todd McShay told us, Mac said, they'll be aggressive on fourth downs tonight.
Anything inside 4 yards.
Yeah, I think you go for it. I mean, your running game has not been stopped. I mean, you've got 118 yards rushing. You haven't had the big explosive plays, but you've been getting 3, 4, 5 yards most of the time. You got to believe that your offensive line can get you that right here.
And the bigger power back, Javonte Williams in. 33rd play of the game for Carolina. Howell went under center, and Williams didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
No, he did not. Great job right over the nose by Robert Cooper. Watch number 91 submarine the center, and this is why this play gets bottled up. Watch 91 come right through the center after they get set. 91 right here. He's going to disrupt this play with his penetration. They're trying to pull the guard. The guard can't get over in front of the play because of what Robert Cooper did right underneath the center. And then you see the rest of the guys finish him off. Great fourth down stop. And the play was made by number 91, Robert Cooper.
North Carolina sticking with the run. They've run 33 plays, only 9 of them pass plays, 24 runs, and they still have not scored. Just more than 7 minutes to go in the half. LaDamian Webb bounced outside, bounced off a couple of tackles, bounced the last defender back, and got the first down.
Yeah, Desmond Evans was the last defender. I was surprised there wasn't a flag here, because Desmond Evans actually took Webb down to the ground at the end of the play, out of bounds. I thought there would be a flag. Usually if that happens on your sideline, you're more inclined to get a penalty there. Bill Lamonte probably doesn't like that.
Jordan Travis running out of room that time and threw it away. Amari Fox put on the pressure.
You know what I like about him? I like the look in his eyes. I like how calm and confident he looks in his eyes. I like when we talk to him on Zoom during the week. I like his composure, and just looking at his eyes right now, I mean, he is very calm and under control. Just doing that, throwing the ball away a couple times tonight, avoiding the big negative plays. I like what he brings to this team.
Coach just said he's not a big rah-rah guy. He's more of a lead by example guy. He gave it to Jayshon Corbin. And he runs for a first down. The A&M transfer He did a couple of the games when he was there for a year and a half. He was their featured back for a while, but got injured early last year and wound up transferring back to his home state.
Really nice block by the right guard, Bavion Johnson, that time. He kind of pulled around, sealed the edge, and allowed Corbin to get there for a nice run to make a first down.
Florida State has struggled in recent years, and a big reason why has been offensive line play. This is a young and inexperienced group, but Mike Norvell's optimistic. He'll bring his program back.
Well, part of
Sean Corbin, a short game.
Part of what he's optimistic about is it's 2 games in a row with the same combination of guys up there to start. You know, early in the season, they've had to shuffle guys because of injuries, and it's a position group that requires more continuity and work than any other group.
Good fake by Travis. And as a man running open, the ball's underthrown, but the catch is made anyway. First down, Seminoles on the grab by Keyshawn Helton.
See, this is what they've been working on. Helton is running this route here. It's max protection, but there's nobody there. So watch Helton adjust when the quarterback leaves the pocket. This is what they wanted to work on this week. Beautiful.
From the 12, Travis, forward pass to Helton again. He's another receiver. Kenny Dillingham said needs to be a factor tonight without Tamorrion Terry. He's made a big play. Wilson's made a big play.
Yeah. And I think they need to really be aggressive here and think touchdown. You know, they settled for a field goal the last time. North Carolina is going to get their offense going. They're going to get their pass game going. You're not going to beat them by kicking field goals. You're the underdog. You're at home. You've got momentum. You got to find a way to get this ball into the end zone on this possession. You can still get a first down inside the 5-yard line also.
Travis has a hole and got up bending just shy of the first down. Another good tackle by Don Chapman.
Yeah, if Chapman doesn't make that tackle, I think Travis gets into the end zone. He took his feet out from under him. That's their version of a counter trap. They pulled a backside guard in the tight end. And a nice job running behind that block, and now 3rd and short.
Travis under center.
You can go quarterback sneak if you wanted to, right to the left.
Jayshawn Corbin has the first down and not the touchdown. The official on the near sideline ruling him down about a foot short of the goal line.
Nice blocking at the point of attack. Good patience by Corbin. Running behind his pads, getting that first down. They got a bunch of cracks at him.
Corbin remains the running back. Travis keeps it himself, surges forward. Touchdown, Florida State.
Well, we saw Bavion Johnson with a block earlier in the possession. That's where Travis goes this time. Watch the right guard. Travis is going to go right on his hip and power it into the end zone. Impressive drive by Florida State. They got the touchdown this time instead of settling for 3.
Second rushing touchdown of the night. That's 4 for the season. Ryan Fitzgerald adds the extra point. The long pass to Keyshawn Helton took them to the 12. 17-0 for the underdog Seminoles at home. Here are the top 5. Number 5, North Carolina Tar Heels, 13.5-point favorites tonight, down 17-0. Michael Carter calls for a fair catch.
Well, Jordan Travis has made this his team. It started on a 4th and 1 play a couple weeks ago against Jacksonville State, and it continued in what he did at South Bend, and tonight he's off to another good start. This was the touchdown run that put Florida State on top early in the ball game, and then a little bit later play-action pass led to the touchdown run from a yard out. And again, he has put this team in a great position where they hope, they believe, because of what he's been able to give.
Nothing seems to faze him just watching him down on the field. Like he'll make the good decision in the bad play.
And North Carolina put up 56 points on the ranked Virginia Tech Hokies last week. Find some offense here. They've been very patient with the run. They come out throwing this time to Daz Newsome.
The difference between last week and this week, there haven't been the big explosive plays. Florida State, like you mentioned earlier, has done a better job tackling it. And they're making them earn everything. And the more plays you make a team run, the more chances they make a mistake or get a penalty. They just haven't had the big explosive play.
It's a fired-up Seminole defense. Emmett Rice leading the way as they stop Michael Carter for a short gain. And here comes 3rd down and 3, under 3 minutes to go in the half.
Timeout. Florida State. Their first timeout of the half. Timeout.
That. Believing in the defense, wanting to get the ball back for another crack at offense. This is family here. Parents, Tony and Tammy, sister Jada, Devin Travis on the right.
Oh boy.
And that pass is intercepted to the delight of all Seminole fans. Joshua Kaindoh, the pick six.
What a great reaction by Kaindoh just to read that slip screen. He started to rush the passer and said, no, I know what's coming here. Here's Kaindoh right here. Now he's going to start to rush the passer and read it and go right out in the path of the football. What a big defensive play for the Seminoles. They called timeout with the hopes of maybe getting their offense the football again, and they didn't need to.
No.
The defense scored.
You mentioned earlier, Adam Fuller said Kaindoh's a guy we think can give us more of a presence up front. Talked about the lack of sacks. He had 8 in his career, but none this season. He has his first career interception, redshirt junior from Baltimore, who spent some time at IMG Academy here in Florida.
Again, North Carolina's refusal to throw the football down the field. Florida State is just guessing now on a lot of these short throws. There's horizontal throws, but there's not vertical throws. And that time, Kaindoh not only gets the interception, he gets the big six.
And Adam Fuller, the defensive coordinator, deserves a lot of credit, too. UNC knows that the best pass rusher is Kaindoh, and he winds up dropping him right into the spot that the ball goes. They actually had a back on that side that was in to try to help protect when he came off the edge, and then he drops and completely threw the play, off the hinges for UNC.
Yeah. Well, and he's so long. I mean, he's 6'7", 265 pounds, great wingspan. So he gets in the area of that football, and he made an athletic play. And Sam Howell now has to shake that off, and he's got to come right back on the field. They've not been in this situation. He's not been in this situation, but there's a lot of football left to be played.
Already his 4th interception of this season. He threw only 7 the entire year. He's a true freshman last season. It's another touchback.
Mac knows there's a lot of football left. You know, you just got to shake it off and try to get in a rhythm. Right now, he's just not in a rhythm.
We asked Mac if he thought Howell might be distracted by being a former Florida State commit. Now playing against him, he said, not at all. He played Clemson last year. Yeah. Special teams player, backup defensive back, limping off the field. It's a grad transfer from FAU, where he led the nation in interceptions last year. 9 interceptions.
He'd been banged up, and it just felt like he was just starting to get healthy again, and now he's kind of hobbling off to the sideline again.
Can Sam Howell get this team some points before the half? 2:46 to go is plenty of time. And patient with the run. It's a Outstanding rushing team, but now 24-0. Will the approach change? Howell down. Back inside the 20-yard line in the arms of Jarvis Brownlee, who came on a corner blitz.
It wasn't a full blitz. They brought Brownlee. Here he is right here, number 3. Florida State's going to call another timeout. It's just a 4-man rush, but Brownlee whips the tight end, Garrett Walston, and they get another sack. Again, coming into the game, only 3 sacks on the season, worst in the ACC. And what's that, 2 tonight?
And when you think back to the good old days of Florida State, where they just used to maul people up front.
Think about some of the names: Wadsworth, Polware, Darnell Dockett, Jamal Reynolds, Corey Simon. I mean, that's the difference, really, is the defensive front for Florida State.
How about Mike Norvell, the defense that was gashed last week by Notre Dame, showing his belief, using his timeouts on defense, trying to get that ball back again. Mike Norvell grew up a Florida State fan in Irving, Texas. The first sports memorabilia he had was when he was about 12 years old. The 1993 FSU National Championship license plate. He knows he has a lot of work to do to get them back to where they want to be, where they believe they should be. Howell on target. Here's a big gainer in the pass, and it's Bo Corrales refusing to go down. Finally on the ground at the 45-yard line of the Seminoles. 36-yard play, 21 after the catch.
Corrales is the biggest of the wide receiver and very good after the catch, as you saw. He's a hard guy to bring down at 6'3", 205 pounds.
Senior from Georgetown, Texas. Howell throws low, trying to get it to Kamari Morales with Emmett Rice in coverage.
I still think you've got to give De'Ami Brown a chance. I mean, you've got to give him a chance to make a play down the field. He's your speed guy. He had 2 long touchdowns a week ago against Virginia Tech. And so far tonight, he's only been targeted 2 times and 1 catch for 4 yards. I mean, that's not taking advantage of what he brings to your offense.
51 catches last year.
Prior to snap, false start, offense, number 25, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Coming up at the half, stay tuned. Kevin Nagandi, Mark Sanchez, Booger McFarland, and the Dish halftime report.
You know, they look rattled. Their team is rattled right now. Sam Howell is rattled, but they've got to find a way to get some points on this possession, Sean, because remember, Florida State won the toss and deferred, so they'll get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Sam Howell cannot take his team into the locker room without any points here with 2:17 left.
And 2 timeouts. He fires on target. Leaving close to the first down, Daz Newsome. He's about 2 yards short.
Nice strong throw that time by Howell. Sets his feet, knows where he wants to go with the football. I think the pass rush that Florida State has been able to generate has been a bit of a surprise to Sam Howell in North Carolina.
Javonte Williams has the first down, turns the corner. He's inside the 15 and chopped down at the 10-yard line.
Well, just a bad play by Jaden Lars Woodby.
It's a great job here by UNC of optioning Joshua Kaindoh. You know, they know he's going to get up the field, and so you're basically running at him, seeing when he gets up the field, and then handing the ball off, and that created the entire play.
Yeah, and then Lars Woodby is the unblocked defender and just took a bad angle to the tackle.
Keem Dent, who made the tackle. There's the injured player. It was a 26-yard run for Javonte Williams.
That's a load trying to tackle. I'll tell you, I mean, he runs behind his pads with power and force. He doesn't give you much area to hit, and he does most of the hitting. Dent showed some courage taking out the legs on that play, a much smaller guy.
You've got a lot on your mind. We'll put a lot on your table. The new Zaxby's Family Packs with your choice of 20 chicken fingers or 30 boneless wings plus fries and Texas toast for just $24.99. Only at Zaxby's. Order ahead or pick up in the drive-thru.
McDonough, Todd Blackledge, Molly McGrath, Todd McShay in Tallahassee. 24-0. Florida State leading the 5th-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels. Well, the Heels have it first and goal from the 10. Javonte Williams straight ahead, stacked up after pickup of 3.
North Carolina has 2 timeouts left.
North Carolina has plenty of time.
I don't think that's why they called timeout. I think they want to make sure that they understand what they want to do defensively here. Because right now, all the pressure's on North Carolina. I don't think they're thinking about getting the ball back as much as, hey, let's get a stop here. We've done a great job stopping them in critical situations. Let's make sure, take a timeout, make sure we got what we want.
Well, we respectfully disagree about that. He's used his timeouts on defense a couple of times here to good effect. Regardless, you sense the energy in the program. You know, this hasn't just been down. It's been really since the last year of Jimbo Fisher when they were 7-6. He left before the year was over. You know, 18-20 the previous 3 seasons. And not the talent that we're accustomed to seeing at Florida State. So this isn't going to be a quick turnaround.
Yeah, they can get it
for Mike Norvell. But you see some nice glimpses.
Yeah, again, Travis has given them a real shot in the arm, a real boost. You can see they still have athletes, and they should always be able to recruit here. They can restock the talent. But I think they'll get some stability with Mike Norvell because he's a proven winner. And he's got energy, he's got charisma, and he knows how it takes to build it.
39 years old. 4 terrific years as the head coach at Memphis. Play fake by Howell. In trouble. He got it off, and he got blasted, and then Javonte Williams got taken down for a loss. There is a flag thrown near where Howell took the hit. You wonder if it might have been an illegal hit.
I don't think so. I mean, you know, he was leaving the pocket. He was actually becoming a runner at that time, flipped it out at the last minute. It was Kane Doe again with the pressure. Ooh. Well, there it is right there. Is that Durden, number 16?
Personal foul, targeting, defense. The previous play is under further review.
I guess the question is, did he lead with the crown of the helmet, Bill Lamonier?
Yes, sir. He dipped that head, attacks with forcible contact, and takes the quarterback out pretty good. Replay's got to confirm this targeting.
And that'll be a loss. He's listed as a backup. When we spoke with Adam Fuller about Corey Durden yesterday, he said he really came on last week. He had missed a lot of the preseason. He figured to be more of a factor than he had been early in the year. Redshirt junior from Newberry, Florida. And as he looks up and looks at a replay, I think he knows what his fate is going to be.
See, here's my only thing on that. And it is going to be the right call. But, I mean, he is pursuing a play. The quarterback looks like he's going to run. I mean, he flips it out kind of like an option pitch. It wasn't a pass. He wasn't in the pocket. And the quarterback was lowering his body at the same time that the hit came. I just don't know how. It's so difficult to tell a big man like that, change your angle of where you're going to tackle the ball carrier.
Todd, is it much of the angle as it is that he didn't, he should have kept his head up instead of dipping.
Yeah.
And so often that's the case, and the difference between targeting or not targeting. It's been an inspired defense. We spoke with Adam Fuller, the defense coordinator, yesterday. Said, you know, it's time for the defense to do our part. And again, it's a new staff. They're putting in new systems. You have spring practice thwarted because of COVID-19. So leaves teams with a new coaching staff are really at a disadvantage in a lot of ways, still learning on the fly.
I think that's what Mike Norvell was just telling Durden. You know, just if you keep your head up, it's a great hustle play. You can't fault the effort. You can't fault the intention. But he's going to have to spend the second half out of the ball game.
Mike Norvell wearing that face mask. He
After further
tested
review,
positive.
the foul for targeting has been confirmed. Number 16 is disqualified from the game. The penalty is half the distance from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
Well, again, the difference with the rule this year, he's disqualified. He's not ejected, so he doesn't have to go to the locker room. He can remain on the sideline. And I guess, Bill, if he gets disqualified with 1:16 left in the first half, does he only have to sit out the second half of this ball game? I guess that's correct. Silver lining for Florida State is he won't miss any time next week.
Right, that's correct. Because it's in the first half, he only has the second half that he has to sit out.
On the snap.
Well, again,
Had it been the first play of the second half, then he'd sit out.
They're at Louisville next week. North Carolina host NC State. Tar Heels 3-0 for the first time since 2011, but on the ropes here late in the first half. Trying to get on the board, down 24-0. First and goal from the 3. Javonte Williams, the running back, power formation. They faked it to him. Throws it up for grabs, incomplete. Actually had De'Ami Brown at the end of that scramble, and he couldn't catch it. There's a flag down.
The passer. Defense, number 21. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Marvin Wilson, the senior who bypassed the NFL to come back for his last year as a Seminole.
Well, the good news, if you're Adam Fuller and Mike Norvell, is you are making life uncomfortable for Sam Howell. A little bit late by Marvin Wilson, but I think that's a penalty you can live with because you're sending a message to Sam Howell. This isn't what you've been seeing on film. We're going to get after you in the ball game tonight. North Carolina still with those 2 timeouts, a minute 8 left in the clock. So no panic here.
Well, they have all kinds of time. Howell zings one off the hands of De'Ami Brown. Too hot for him to handle.
I remember the end of that game a week ago in South Bend. That goal line stand when the game was out of reach. They were way behind on the scoreboard, but it showed they had fight. And we've seen that fight continue out of this defense tonight. Here they are presented with another goal line situation right at the end of the first half.
You're North Carolina. You've got 665 pounds at right guard, right tackle. Let's run behind these guys.
Over there. Good call, Todd McShay. Touchdown, walk-in around that right end for Javonte Williams, who's had a big first half for Mack Brown. It's otherwise been a disaster for the Tar Heels.
A big Jordan Tucker, number 74. He occupies 2 or 3 guys. And an easy touchdown for the Tar Heels.
Now the question for Mack Brown is probably, do we go for 2? I think that's what the discussion's about. And, you know, Mack said he learned a lot when he was out of coaching. He'd do a lot of things differently. We heard Todd McShay reference analytics. Maybe like Lane Kiffin last week, Mack is leaning on what the numbers say.
Well, you know, if you go for 2 and make it here, it's still a 2-score football game, right?
I think it's too early. Myself, you got a lot of football left.
I do too.
But sometimes if the book says do it and you go by that book, that's what you do. We're not going to tell the College Football Hall of Famer what to do.
It's stay in our lane, right?
Stay in our lane. They do have the kicker Grayson Atkins on the field.
Why is he so far back?
Just wants to make an entrance. He's a grad transfer from Furman. his only year kicking for the Heels. All-American, the FCS level, Furman last year. It's 24-7. And the kicker went flying, and there's a flag down.
Yeah, Robert Cooper, number 91, with the late hit, and just and right now Mike Norvell's got to get his group situated and say, look, we can't have a lack of discipline now. We've played a beautiful first half. You see Odell Haggins right now with his arm around the defensive lineman Robert Cooper. Odell Haggins has been here 27 years as a defensive line coach.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense. Number 91. The try is good. A 15-yard penalty will be carried over on the ensuing kickoff.
Mike Norvell talking to Marvin Wilson. And yeah, just unnecessary, completely unnecessary. You're too big to hide that kind of a penalty. And Mike Norvell is letting all of them know those are lack of discipline penalties that we need to do without.
And he had an exchange there with Marvin Wilson, and people will recall that after the death of George Floyd, racial situation in our country erupted. Mike Norvell made a comment to the effect that he had talked to every player on the team about the situation. Marvin Wilson called him out, said that wasn't true. Mike Norvell basically misspoke. And they patched it up, and they moved forward. And, you know, that's bygones, but I just don't want anybody watching that to think, you know, maybe there's a lingering issue. From everybody we talk to, that is ancient history. These players are all behind Mike Norvell.
No, that's strictly, you had Durden who had the targeting. You had Marvin Wilson with a roughing the passer, and now you had Robert Cooper with a personal foul on the kicker, all in the same possession. That's just, let's not taint what we're doing because we're playing beautiful football.
Well, he used those timeouts on defense. He has a minute two, no timeouts left. A very emotional half. John Papuchis said we can overload one side and block a punt. Didn't take long to make that prophetic from the special teams coordinator. They did it on the first punt of the game. It set up a touchdown.
Jordan Travis showed on his first play, first carry, why he has changed the whole demeanor of this football team. And they got off to a good start, and they're finishing the first half with a 17-point lead on the fifth-place team in the country.
And a safe play, but they also know he can pop one. Now they're up by the 40-yard line. Well, they go into attack mode with 56 seconds left. They do have a kicker with a big leg. Wouldn't have to go too much further to get Parker Grotehouse a long attempt.
But because they use those timeouts on defense, they don't have any right now. So Jordan Travis just has to be mindful of that. The clock stops if you go out of bounds. It stops if you make a first down until they reset the chains, and that's what has happened.
Got some grass in his helmet.
And his eye, I think.
And it's causing him a problem. He's rushed for 53 yards on 8 carries and 2 scores. He gets shoved back by the pressure. Tyrone Hopper, and the pass off target. Warren Thompson, the intended receiver.
I think he's still trying to get stuff out of his helmet. You see at the end of the play, diving to the sideline. He goes face first right into the sideline. And when he came up, he had a whole face full of grass and turf, and he's still trying to pick it out.
Only 4 completions, but for 34 yards and change per completion. Travis pulls it down again. Has the first down, goes out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Grotehouse has made a 53-yarder this season. That was against Georgia Tech in their opener. Coach Norvell told us about 57 is where they'd feel comfortable trying one with him. In that case, they only need about 5 more yards. There's a light breeze into the Seminoles here in the second quarter. Travis deep and caught. Warren Thompson to catch. Looked like he did a great job of not raising his hands until the ball arrived. So the defense defensive back didn't know he was about to catch the ball.
Yeah, that's Kyler McMichael, number 1. He's trying to read the receiver's eyes, and you're right. I mean, that receiver, Thompson, did not give it away for a moment.
The outfielder with a deke. 33-yard gain for Warren Thompson. All these wide receivers stepping up without Tamorrion Terry. No, a touchdown. Travis to Cameron McDonald, the tight end.
Credit Jordan Travis, extending plays, making plays with his legs, with his arm. He's very good.
Not a classic thrower, but he throws it more than well enough. The extra point good by Ryan Fitzgerald. I still maintain Mike Norvell was using those timeouts to get one more time on offense.
You might be right.
And it paid off.
Watch Chaz Surratt. He's going to come on a blitz. And when he misses the tackle, right here, that's going to allow Jordan Travis to wait for something to open up in the back of the end zone. Jordan Travis extends the play. He goes to the sideline. He waits till his tight end, Cameron McDonald, opens up. But it's all because of his ability to use his feet, his legs, extend plays. And Florida State, right before the half, with no timeouts, a crushing touchdown.
How about the confidence they showed in the sophomore quarterback, too?
Unbelievable.
I mean, they could have gone into halftime up 24-7. They said, no, we're going to go. That shows you everything you need to know about the coaching staff, Mike Norvell, and really the offensive coaching group.
And I love the play calling at the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quarterback run, not risky, but he might get you enough yardage to make you want to be more aggressive, and that's what happened.
Exactly right. You get that first down, you get out to midfield. Now it changes your thinking on that first down play.
Travis to Cameron McDonald, second touchdown of the year for the junior tight end. He's the only tight end who had caught a pass this year prior to tonight when the walk-on Preston Daniel caught his first of his career. Since 2004, 61-0 and leading by 24 points. Of course, for a lot of those years, they were a dominant powerhouse. This is a team trying to get back to that position in college football. Well, now you're on your own 25, and you have one timeout. See what North Carolina does with Michael Carter on the hip of Sam Howell.
North Carolina does not know what hit them. And they got to get to the locker room, and they've got to try to regroup for the last 30 minutes and treat it like it's a 0-0 game in the second half, because they got run over by a freight train in this first half.
Max said he didn't know if they were the 5th best team in the country. They didn't look like it in that half. Stay tuned for Kevin, Mark, and Butter, the Dish halftime report after these messages. He has summarized the situation very nicely. North Carolina kicks off to begin the second half. Jonathan Kemp, kickoff. Florida State will start at the 25. Well, how do you follow up what Coach just said?
Well, first of all, their defense is on the field first. They've got to eliminate the big plays and make Jordan Travis a little more uncomfortable. I mean, Florida State had 280 yards of offense, but 220 of that came on 7 plays, so they gave up the big plays. And then offensively, when they get the ball, they've got to create some big plays in the passing game with Sam Howell and their dangerous receivers. They have not had any big plays other than a couple runs and one pass to Corrales that were worth noting there in the first half.
Travis gave it off to the Damian Webb. And he gets 11 and a first down. Ray Vahasek made the tackle for North Carolina.
You know, the thing that makes it so difficult playing a team like this with a quarterback like this is, you know, you think you got an opportunity to take advantage of an offensive line, and then you get into the backfield, and this quarterback has the ability to elude you, to extend the play, keep his eyes downfield, or become a runner. It can be very frustrating for defenders.
Travis pulled it back. Mack Brown said they had to stop the quarterback run, and they haven't. And undoubtedly they talked about that in the locker room. And Travis's first carry this half gets 8.
Now, last week at Notre Dame, they were 2 for 14 on third downs because of the yardage needed. They've just been much more effective tonight because they're staying ahead of the chains and they're eliminating the negative plays.
Travis up to 75 yards rushing, leading the Seminoles on 10 carries, 7.5 a carry and 2 touchdowns. And here's LaDamian Webb. LaDamian Webb inside the 20 and finally caught inside the 5-yard line.
Just power running again. Bavion Johnson, the right guard, just mauling people. And Ontario Wilson downfield blocking, leading the play. And again, Florida State on the move right away.
54-yard run for Webb in his first year here at FSU. Junior college transfer from Jones in Mississippi. He's a JC All-American. And he gets stuffed for a loss. And apparently Tamari Fox doesn't know what the score is as he does a dance.
Again, watch the block by 51. Bavion Johnson, then down the field. Ontario Wilson, number 80, chasing in front of the play. Just great hustle. I mean, you just see a different spirit and attitude in this Florida State team right now.
The referee's microphone not working, but apparently a dead ball foul on Dante Lucas, the sophomore guard.
The personal fouls are the things that Mike Norvell is the only thing that he would be upset about. I think this is part of what he talked to them about at halftime before they left the field. And it's the only thing that is taking away anything from what they're doing. The effort, the energy, the intensity has been outstanding. But those kind of penalties, they may not cost them tonight, but eventually those kind of things catch up to you.
Run by Webb, by far the longest of his brief Seminole career. The previous long for tonight was 16 yards. Travis being chased by Tyrone Hopper out of the way, and it's incomplete in the general direction of Jay-Sean Corbin. Let's see if we can find the personal foul. That's a big call.
Well, here he is right here. Left guard, Dante Lucas. Just right there, the last one. The last one, the hit to the face mask, tangled up with a smaller guy, defensive back Trey Morrison, and just an unnecessary penalty.
They're back on the 21-yard line, 3rd down and goal. Just a 3-man rush this time. Corbin ends off a hit, gets wrapped up and taken down by Don Chapman. Don Chapman missed it. It's Obi Egbuna who made the tackle, and the field goal team comes out for Mike Norvell.
Credited or helped by the penalty. A good stop for North Carolina. They had to hold this to a field goal attempt. Mack Brown saying they want to try to fight their way back in the game. A touchdown on that opening possession would have been very, very difficult.
33-yard attempt just inside the right hash mark, and it is no good. Well, it looked like Mike Norvell's team might score a quick touchdown. The penalty backed them up, and then the field goals missed. So perhaps the momentum starter for the Tar Heels. They're down 31-7 early in the 3rd quarter in Tallahassee. Alma Mater, and on the short end, 31-7 right now, but with almost the entire second half to go. Michael Carter yanked down by Emmett Rice after a short gain on the first play from scrimmage of the half for the Heels.
Now, we talked about, after Mack Brown's comments to Molly, what they need to do offensively. They've got to get some big plays. I mean, and that means the quarterback, Sam Howell, and their wide receivers. They averaged 5 yards per play in that first half. Yeah, they ran it well. They got to stretch.
And there they go down the field, and it's the tight end, Garrett Walston, with a big gainer into Florida State territory to the 45-yard line.
And as Todd was saying, they've got to open things up. They've got to work the seams, and they've got to utilize one of the livest arms that we have in college football. I mean, 14 touchdown passes of 30-plus yards Sam Howell has thrown since the start of last year, the most in the FBS, and they just haven't taken many shots tonight down the field.
That one good for 33 yards, 20 after the catch. Miko Dotson injured again for Florida State. To Chapel Hill, led 17-0 in the half and won 20-3 on Bobby Bowden's 68th birthday. After the last loss Matt Brown had at North Carolina in his first stint, Michael Carter runs for 3. They won a couple more games, and then he left for Texas, didn't coach the bowl game.
They've got an opportunity right here after the penalties and then the missed field goal. A touchdown here can shoot some life into this North Carolina football team that didn't have much go right at all in the first half.
Play fake by Howell. Saw pressure coming and still stood in there and made a nice throw for a first down inside the 25-yard line to Daz Newsome, and Asante Samuel drove it back.
Really good timing. He's going to fake a hitch to the other side, and his ball's out of his hands before Brown comes out of the break. And that's a guy who they have got to get the football to because he's a big play waiting to happen. Down the field for a nice completion. You get your leading receiver involved.
18 yards to De'Ami Brown. Javonte Williams. Nice cut. And they're briskly on the move. Steven Dix took him down, but after about an 8-yard gain.
Sean, last week, North Carolina played Virginia Tech. They had a 35-14 lead at halftime. And Virginia Tech came back and outscored them 23-7 in the third quarter and made it a close ball game. Right now, Mac Brown's hoping his team can turn the tables.
Javonte Williams, first down.
Williams on the carry.
Well, when we spoke with Mac Brown yesterday, he said, you know, we're going to be patient with the run. He was thinking it might be a warmer night than it is, and he said when he watched Florida State play, he thought it looked like a team that got worn down as games went along, and they have also been, in Mac's year plus, one of the very best fourth quarter teams in college football. Their point differential in the fourth quarter is third best in the country since he returned to Chapel Hill last season. On the move, down by 24, 9-10 to go, third quarter. Williams, well, he just loves to lower his head and power his way through contact. There's a flag down.
Holding. Offense, number 73, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Big Marcus McKeith in the right guard.
Yeah, he was pulling to the other side of the formation, and he just wrestled his guy down to the ground. And he probably didn't need to because I think the back was by him. If he just stays with that big body in front of the defender, he's not going to make a play. And that's a momentum killer. You've got a great drive going. You've got an opportunity to tighten the score, put a little pressure on Florida State. You back yourself up now on the first and long.
Carolina offense scored 56 points last week against number 19 Virginia Tech. Howell, he delivers a stiff arm and then gets upended at the 17-yard line by Jarvis Brownlee.
Well, they were trying to go on the wheel route to Michael Carter. Now, he has the linebacker beat, but there's a safety coming over the top. That's why Sam Howell didn't throw the football. Made a good decision to run, got upended, but the wheel route, if it was just man-to-man with no safety help, that ball would have been thrown to Michael Carter. Instead, Howell had to run for some positive yardage.
Forced to pull it down and run again. Comes up short of the first down. Tackled by Raymond Woody.
Woody on the stop.
Another good decision. This happened to Florida State a little bit last week with Ian Book. They kind of lost track of him, and the middle of the field opened up, and Ian Book scrambled up the field for some good yardage. Two good decisions in a row to bring up third and manageable now for North Carolina.
They're on the move, but almost half of this third quarter is gone. We are halfway through. Ninth play of the drive. They've had for more than 4.5 minutes. And perhaps in 4-down territory, third down and 3. Fake to Carter, up for grabs, and De'Ami Brown, the intended receiver, well covered by Asante Samuel.
I mean, they went with their best, but they went against Florida State's best. Asante Samuel is a very confident cornerback right now. He's in perfect position. There's a lot of contact, a lot of pushing and grabbing by both guys. I think a good no call and a nice play by Asante Samuel.
Great job by Samuel to get his head around so that you go up and contest that throw.
Here's the son of the former NFL Pro Bowler, Asante Samuel, won a couple of Super Bowls. Huge play here, 4th and 3. The play clock running down, and North Carolina is going to have to use the timeout.
Timeout. North Carolina, their first timeout of the half.
They are 2 for 9
timeout.
on third down, 0 for 1 on fourth down. And this is one you would think, Todd, they absolutely have to have.
Yeah, because as was indicated by that first defensive possession, they weren't slowing Florida State down. Florida State slowed themselves down. So they've got to try to cut into the lead. I think this part of the field, it'd be interesting to see what Phil Longo dials up. But I think you got to think about Bo Corrales, the biggest of the wide receivers, number 15, because he's a bigger body in this part of the field.
Kind of surprised on third down and 3, knowing you're going to go for a 4th down and 3. You didn't try the power running game.
Yeah.
Again, he's to a fade. De'Ami Brown.
A very high percentage play.
Javonte Williams is the back. 3 wide receivers. And the tight end, Garrett Walston, to the right. Howell under pressure from a blitz. Fired it too far in front of Daz Newsome.
There was late linebacker pressure. It started as a 4-man rush. It was kind of zoned behind. And an errant throw by Sam Howell, just not able to get it in to Newsome. And another 4th down stop by this Florida State defense.
Which looks nothing like the Florida State defense we watched play in South Bend against Notre Dame last week when the Irish ran for 353 yards, averaged 8.4 per carry. Seminoles take over on downs from their own 6.
Busted play.
Yeah, Travis. A different page than Jashaun Corbin. He got dumped back at the 2.
That's been one of their real problems. You know, early in the season was taking negative plays. They haven't done that tonight. That one was a miscommunication, a busted play, and it results in a loss of 5. But we had not seen that much from the Florida State offense tonight.
Corbin clearly was in the wrong there. They sent him back to the sideline and brought in LaDamian Webb.
North Carolina needs a turnover real bad. They need something defensively to spark them.
Jordan Travis out of the end zone. Single coverage. Leaping effort made by Helton. And they're deferring, and I think they're going to give him the catch. They do.
The effort to make the catch was spectacular, but was he in bounds when he came down? Unbelievable effort. I just don't know if he was in bounds when he hit the ground.
They go quickly to the line to try to snap it.
Is it completion for his first down? Previous play is under further review.
Unbelievable effort leaving his feet to make the catch.
Keyshawn Helton, junior from Pensacola, with the Clemson transfer, Kyler McMichael, in coverage. We're back in Tallahassee. While we were away, Dwayne Height, the referee, announced that the call was overturned by the replay booth. And it was the right call. Keyshawn Helton's left arm comes down out of bounds without any other body part touching the ground. Looked for a while like maybe that left foot scraped the ground, but it didn't. So instead of the big play, it's 3rd and 14 from their own 2.
They're trying to draw an offside right there to get out away from their end zone. And Jordan Travis with the hard count under center. North Carolina did not bite.
Sean Corbin. Across the 5. The crowd wants a penalty. I don't think they're going to get it. They thought Kyler McMichael threw down Corbin well out of bounds.
I thought it was more the running back slipping than being thrown down, but I agree with you.
It was a drama major here at Florida State. The crowd doesn't like it. There have been several flags, key flags, go against Florida State. And been penalized 7 times. Here's Alex Mastromano. Brings it up very high. And Daz Newsome makes the fair catch at the 49-yard line.
Great field position for North Carolina and Sam Howell.
Here's our Pacific Life game summary. The block punt set the tone early. North Carolina took the opening kickoff. FSU forced a punt. And they blocked the first punt of the night. On the very first play after that, Jordan Travis ran it in for a touchdown. They had 3 sacks all year. They've had 2 tonight and an interception return for a touchdown. The defense, hard to believe. It's the same one that gave up 52 to Miami, 42 at Notre Dame. Excellent field position. Sam Howell surrounded, in trouble. Did well to get back across the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Pursued by Derek McClendon.
Well, they were trying to take a shot, trying to get the ball to Daz Newsome. Daz Newsome is in the slot here. He's coming in motion. He's going to go out and down the sideline. And this is just going to be outstanding man-to-man coverage. Newsome is not able to shake his defender. Sam Howell has to tuck it and run. And that's just excellent coverage by Florida State.
Under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Take to Javonte Williams. First down. There's De'Ami Brown.
This is a team, Sean, that's used to going fast tempo, and you don't see it right now. They're at this point with 4:35 remaining in the third quarter, down at least 3 scores. You're going to need to speed things up.
I think part of the problem, Todd, is the pass protection for Sam Howell has been inconsistent. Right. I think Florida State has been able to generate enough pressure that it's slowed them down a little bit.
Howell zings one too high. De'Ami Brown. Accuracy has been one of the best aspects of Sam Howell's game through a year and a half. Came into tonight completing 69% for this season.
Well, you're going to see a guy come free. Watch this man come free, and he's not going to get to Sam Howell, but Sam Howell is going to feel him as he steps up in the pocket, and he kind of short arms that throw, and that's why he was inaccurate making that throw.
Four-man rush. And again, it's Howell who's antsy. And he got himself clear. and fires a strike down the middle, and it's a touchdown for Javonte Williams.
Touchdown, Carolina.
38 yards, 17 after the catch.
Well, the true freshman linebacker made a mistake, Steven Dix. He thought Sam Howell was going to run, and he vacated an area and came after the quarterback. Watch number 32 as they drop back here. He's got middle, he's got middle, he's got middle. He thinks the quarterback's going to run, and he moves up. Another defender falls down, and there's nobody behind for Javonte Williams. Sam Howell is able to find him.
They're going for two, trying to make it a two-score game. Howell
That's the tight end.
starts to run, now throws to the tight end, and it's caught for the two-point conversion.
He had him the entire play. For whatever reason, nobody accounted for Garrett Walston. And Sam Howell found him at the very end.
Garrett Walston, the two. And the Heels back in the game, 4:07 to go. Third quarter. We'll be back in 45 seconds after a look inside Nissan's Heisman House. Jonathan Kim kicks off for North Carolina. And it's a touchback. All but two of his kickoffs have been touchbacks this season. Take a look at the AT&T 5G college football rankings. Clemson made a bit of a statement today.
Yeah, I'd say, as did Trevor Lawrence.
I lost track. Was it 79?
73-7.
73, okay.
There's 3 games in the top 10 postponed due to COVID issues. Penn State number 9. One of the other Big Ten teams idle. They'll swing into action next week. Number 5, North Carolina, down by 16. As we said, they've been the best fourth-quarter teams in the country since Matt Brown returned at the start of last season. And Damian Webb wrapped up by Jeremiah Gimmel after a gain of 5.
It's fun watching Gimmel and Surratt play linebacker. They're both so quick. They take good angles to the football. They read things. And again, everything in this defense kind of funnels plays to those two guys. That's why they're the 2 leading tacklers on the football team.
Looks like they've made a concerted effort to slow the pace a little bit on offense, Florida State. Travis handed it off to the Damian Webb. You don't want to get too lethargic here.
More conservative. You know, I mean, you're a team that's 1-3. They're still trying to find themselves. They found their quarterback. He's given them hope. He's given them life, but you definitely don't want to take the air out of the football here.
Carolina could really use a 3-and-out here on defense. Design run for Travis, and they do stop him about 2 short of the first down. Surratt lost his helmet on the play.
What a nice play by Surratt, though.
Helmet off.
I mean, Surratt read it. He got into the backfield. He beat the block of a lineman and still got the tackle. Lost his helmet, but did not lose the ball carrier. Take a look at 21. Gets in, beats the block of the guard, falls back in, has Gimmel there to help him. And again, those two, I mean, they just make play after play. That was a huge stop on 3rd down.
Coaches for Florida State told us they needed some special teams magic tonight, needed an advantage in that fast of a game. They've had it. Mastromano, another high punt. Necessitates a fair catch by Daz Newsome. Let's check in with, well, there is a flag first.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 34. 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. First down.
On British Brooks. Here's Kevin Nagandi in the studio.
Sean, now for our Fansville studio update, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. We go to Blacksburg. Hendon Hooker, how about this? 2nd rushing touchdown, 3 total touchdowns. Virginia Tech up 33-14 over BC. That game on the ACC network. Back to you guys.
Hokies' only loss, as we said a few times today, was last week against this North Carolina team. And we should point out, North Carolina put up a lot of points and yards, but Virginia Tech was playing without a lot of players, especially on defense.
That's kind of been their story the whole season so far.
They've been decimated by the COVID-19 situation. You sense this is a key spot in the game right here. North Carolina just scored, and another one here would really tighten it up with a lot of football to go in Tallahassee tonight. Michael Carter for one, and that's it. Joshua Kando, another big play for the Noles.
Sean, Sam Howell's always the same, good or bad. His temperament doesn't change, but I see a spark in him on the sidelines that I've never seen before. After that scoring drive, he ran up and down the sidelines, firing up his teammates and his offense, told his O-line to keep fighting and build off of this momentum.
His expression doesn't change much. Neither one of these quarterbacks is particularly expressive. They're both outstanding players. That's Garrett Walston again. They're out to their own 38-yard line very quickly after a pickup of 21.
Yeah, just a good fake. And again, so much of this offense is RPO based. So it's a run with a pass attached to it. Linebackers have to favor that run. They've got to come up and respect the fake. And you slip the tight end right behind him down the seam. That's twice we've seen that now.
To a ball that looked like it was underthrown, but that served to throw off the defense, and he's finally down at the 22-yard line of Florida State.
And how about now North Carolina and Sam Howell attacking down the field. Corrales, a big receiver. That underthrow favors the offensive player, and then he used that big body to just shield the defender away. But all of a sudden now, Sam Howell and Phil Longo, they are ripping the ball down the field and stretching this defense vertically.
Throwing the ball regularly now. Howell in retreat. Can't take a sack, and he does. Huge loss. Back to the 34-yard line. Janarius Robinson and Joshua Kando bringing the pressure.
Well, they wanted to throw a screen, and the screen is not going to be there. They want to get the back out on the screen right here. That's why when you see the quarterback drift like this, drift, he's looking for the screen, and the back falls down. Michael Carter fell down, and it's hard to throw the ball away on a screen when you're not out of the pocket. So really a difficult situation that time for Sam Howell.
Third sack of the game. It's Marvin Wilson, the injured player, star of that defensive line. They had 3 the entire season in 4 games prior to tonight. We're back in Tallahassee. The Florida State medical staff tending to Marvin Wilson, head coach Mike Norvell out there.
Well, look at him. Here he is right here. He's looking over for a signal, and then all of a sudden he just went down.
That's scary.
That is scary.
The good thing is he did turn over onto his back after he was face down for quite a while.
That's a big man. It took 3 people to help him up off the ground, too.
6'5", 305, senior from Houston, Texas.
He plays so hard, too. It's one of those guys you watch on tape, and you pull for him.
Yeah.
That's what Adam Fuller, the coordinator, said about him. Plays hard, really a blue-collar guy for a man with his talent. And he said after they lost to Miami, got smacked at Miami, Marvin Wilson went to Adam Fuller and said, what can I do to make us better, to solve these problems? Census preseason All-American. Howell going for the end zone for Corral.
Had trouble getting the ball down the field to De'Ami Brown. They've had trouble getting the ball down the field to Daz Newsome. But so far now in the second half, Bo Corrales, the big receiver, has been a good option. He's got better speed than maybe you think. He gets good separation right there from Akeem Dent. And then a nice throw, and again, he goes up, he high points it, and uses that big body and strength to rip it away from Dent.
Sam Howell's been off on some throws tonight that he typically is not off on, but he threw an absolute dime right there.
For 33 yards, first touchdown of his senior year for Corrales. And now going for two to make it a one-score game. It's batted away, but there is a flag. Trying to get it to Antoine Green with Akeem Dent in coverage.
That time they tried to show fade.
Defense, number 27. Half the distance to the goal. We play the drive.
Tried to show fade and then throw the stop. And you can see the hold all the way.
Sure can.
That's an easy penalty. And now, as this backs it up inside the 2, would North Carolina be inclined to run the football here?
And that's probably what that conversation is about. Longo, the offensive coordinator, play caller, but obviously plenty of help around him, including Matt Brown.
Javonte Williams is in, the big bruising back.
One second to go, third quarter. It was 31-7, Florida State at the half.
Timeout. North Carolina.
That's not
Timeout
good.
of the half.
That Brown hot. I don't blame him. Yeah, you have to two-point play ready to go.
Now I think he wants to kick it. You know, they were trying to wait and see what the defense was going to give them. Then they were going to try to change the play. And I think Matt Brown just said, forget it, let's kick it now.
I don't know why you'd do that. You're still going to be down 2 scores.
Right.
I don't know if he was saying that, he was just waving his hand in frustration. The offense is still around. Yeah. Bill Longo over there. Here's Molly McGrath.
Well, Marvin Wilson left the medical tent, put his helmet back on, and tried to walk out onto the field and was held back. He is walking with a significant limp, though, but he's talking to his teammates now, trying to encourage them.
Here comes the offense.
See him back up and wasn't lucid. He got dizzy for a minute. Well, they are going to continue to try for 2. They've used 2 timeouts here in the third quarter. They got the 2-pointer on the last touchdown on a pass to the tight end, Walston. And another whistle for a false start.
False start. Offense. Number 72. 5-yard penalty. We will have a try.
Now you wonder about kicking it. Although no indication Mack is going to send the kicker onto the field here. We'll try to get the 2 from back behind the 6-yard line.
I mean, we've got a whole fourth quarter to play. But if you make it here and you make it a 1-score game, you put a lot of pressure on Jordan Travis and the Florida State offense.
And this is a big play here. It's under center. That didn't fool Marvin Wilson. Looks plenty healthy as he's in hot pursuit. Howell now shovels it, and it's batted down by Joshua Kando. It was very hard for North Carolina to get a 2-point play called, and when they finally did, it didn't fool the Seminoles.
Well, whatever rest Marvin Wilson needed, it paid off because he is quick into the backfield here, forces Sam Howell to leave the pocket. They were in a run formation, a 2 tight end under center showing run, trying to go play action, but the quick penetration by Marvin Wilson just destroyed that play.
Kick off your Week 6 NFL Sunday countdown tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and the app. And then Monday Night Football, Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals taking on Ezekiel Elliott and the Dallas Cowboys. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern. So we send our best along to Dak Prescott. I was watching that game last week, and when he got hurt, it was gruesome. Sounds like he's already on the road to recovery and in good spirits. Really good guys in the game of football. It'll be a touchback. Another one off the leg of Jonathan Kemp. This will likely be the last play of the third quarter.
Sean, I just wonder about that. I why kick there? He kicked the extra point. I mean, it's a 2-score game, but you got a whole quarter to play. If you're down 9, a touchdown, a field goal puts you ahead. Now a touchdown, field goal ties
you. only need to score once.
I get that, but it's a lot of football left.
I think he did the right thing. I just think the execution was terrible, both in the time management, play calling, and then in the play that they chose. Very sluggish, lethargic, and slow on offense, and conservative with this big lead. Travis intercepted. There is a flag down. Trey Morrison has it back for the Tar Heels. There is a flag on the play.
It's in the area where you would expect offensive holding. What an incredible interception by Trey Morrison, a one-handed stab. And just like that, North Carolina is knocking on the door again. Let's see what the penalty is, but I think it's probably going to be offensive holding.
Holding, offense, number 55. That penalty is declined. We have an interception. First down, North Carolina. That's the end of the third quarter.
That could not end soon enough for Dante Lucas and the Seminoles. Mac Brown told his team at the half they could be a part of the biggest comeback in North Carolina history. They've done a lot of the job, but still down by 10 with 15 minutes to go in Tallahassee. Has taken. North Carolina down 31-7 at the half, down 31-21 as we begin the fourth quarter. They have great field position after the interception by Trey Morrison. And it's Michael Carter ahead on first down. Second career interception for Morrison, the junior from Norcross, Georgia.
He had just dropped into zone coverage, reading the quarterback the whole way, then just made a really athletic play.
Michael Carter couldn't get away from Marvin Wilson. Really collapsed, caught his breath, and he's been an even bigger force since he returned. Third down, and they are at field goal range. Third down and 7.
North Carolina 2 of 9 on third down. They were 6 of 10 a week ago. Florida State's been able to create pressure with their front on third downs.
North Carolina last year had a scoring margin of plus 69 in the fourth quarter. Only Ohio State and Florida were better. Howell pursued by the blitzer, threw it away. It was Jaden Lars Woodby, I believe, coming from the backside. And you have to kick a field goal here, and they send the unit out.
This was definitely a blitz. I mean, they brought one extra guy that North Carolina could not block. That extra guy was Lars Woodby. Sam Howell just had to get rid of the football.
Biggest kick of his brief career as a Tar Heel for the redshirt freshman from Coolidge, Georgia, Ryan Fitzgerald. As long as 42. That was... Excuse me. And the wrong kicker. It's Grayson Atkins, the kicker for North Carolina. The transfer from Furman, and he missed it wide left. He was an All-American for Furman a year ago. Can't come up with the big one here for the Tar Heels. Time for our Pacific Life game summary. North Carolina on the comeback trail here in the second half, down 31-7 at the break.
Well, it's been attempting to throw the ball downfield. In that third quarter, they had 5 big plays, and for the first time in the whole game, they started attacking this Florida State defense vertically. Now they've tightened the gap.
Florida State trying to get something going on offense. That's LaDamian Webb out to the 42, taken down by Todd Chapman. In this half, Florida State a missed field goal, punt, and an interception.
Yeah, the coaches told us about Webb that he has great balance, and we've seen that tonight. I mean, he is slippery when he gets to the second level of the defense. Not an overly big back, but he can make people miss.
I mean, his best night as a Seminole, on the verge of his first 100-yard game. Has 97 yards on 9 carries after that 15-yard pickup. Twice Carolina's had a chance to make it a one-score game. Couldn't get a 2-pointer. And they missed the field goal. Ty Douglas couldn't handle that short throw from Travis. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
It's kind of like a triple option play. I mean, they've got the option of handing it to Webb, or Travis can keep it as a quarterback, and instead of having a traditional pitch like you do in a triple option, the third option is to throw it out quickly to that wide receiver sitting out there. It was incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Feel the uneasiness in the crowd. They rocked us for most of the night. The Bulls rolled up that big lead. Webb fought hard for about 3. Here comes another big 3rd down for Florida State. The clock will run under 12.5 minutes to go before they snap it again.
Really great play that time by the nose guard, Raymond Vahasic. Again, they missed him last week. It hurt their depth, but also he's just a really good player.
For injury.
Tar Heel who is not getting up. It's Kyler McMichael. Wonder if that's a cramp. Timeout.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? In part by Burger King. Get 3 items for 1 great price at Burger King. And Pacific Life. More than 150 years strong. Trust in your tomorrow.
So many great closer looks through the Progressive Pylon Cam tonight. Another exciting game on this Saturday night here in the capital of Florida. Florida State, a double-digit underdog at home for just the 3rd time in the last 40 years. They led by 24. They lead by 10 now with 12:20 to go and facing 3rd down and 7. And they're on 45. Travis stays on his feet. Got away from the blitzing Chaz Surratt. Has the 1st down.
Travis on the keeper.
Well, Surratt came free. I mean, he was an unblocked blitzer. Watch him right here. He's going to get to the outside, and he doesn't miss too many shots like this. But Jordan Travis is not your normal quarterback. He's got great feet and vision. He eludes the rush and picks up the 1st down.
And he is tough as nails.
83 yards rushing now. He had 96 last week against Notre Dame, which was the most in a long time for a Florida State quarterback since E.J. Manuel in 2012.
Damian Webb around the corner, then out of bounds near the 40. Here's Kevin Nagandi in the studio.
Sean, let's go back to Tuscaloosa. Bama down by 4. Mac Jones, the Jalen Waddle, and watch the 4.37 speed. By Jalen. 90 yards, longest catch of the season for him. Najee Harris just scored. Alabama up 34-24. Sean, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Kevin. 2nd and 3. Travis milking the play clock. 11 minutes to go. That looked like a busted play. They take him down for a 2-yard loss.
I don't think it was. I've seen them do that. They fake like a wide receiver screen, and it's a design quarterback run. The problem is he ran right into a run blitz. And that's what made it look very disruptive. It just was not a good call against that particular defense. And Jordan Travis wincing a little bit, kind of reaching for his left shoulder.
And he's telling someone on the sideline that what's going on.
He does not look.
No, his
good.
left arm is hanging.
Yeah.
Backup would be James Blackman, who was the starter at the beginning of the year and has 25 career starts. And he is getting loose. They snap it with 2. Even Smarting. Travis gets the call and answers it.
Unbelievable. Todd, you talked about his toughness. I mean, his arm has gotten dangling. I'm like, probably no more quarterback runs. Forget that. They call his number, up at the end of the play, but he broke through 3 tackles on 3rd down. And now Jordan Travis over 100 yards as well.
101, a career high. I mentioned his 96 last week, the most by an FSU quarterback since E.J. Manuel went for 102 on the ground against Clemson. In 2012, he has a chance to surpass that. With 9.5 to go. Jashaun Corbin. At the very least, North Carolina has to force a field goal try here.
Yeah.
Mac Brown was right. If they did rally and win this game, it wouldn't be the biggest deficit overcome to win a game in Carolina football history. They were down 21-0 to Georgia Tech in 2015 and rallied to win 38-31. It was under Larry Fedora, a very good year that year. They won 11 games, went to the ACC championship game where they lost to Clemson. Then the play clock winding all the way down. Corbin. Well, they converted a couple of 3rd downs on this drive. Can they do it again on 3rd down and the long 3?
I'll tell you what, I mean, Jordan Travis is definitely bothered by something, either his left arm, left shoulder, something. Of course, he had the thumb injury last week on his throwing hand, took a helmet. This is his left side, and you just wonder how many more hits he can take, not just for this game, but also for games beyond this.
What if it's his left hand?
I think it's his shoulder.
Yeah.
I think it's his shoulder or collarbone or something, but he does not look comfortable at all.
So they send him out to wide out. Jashaun Corbin lines up as the Wildcat.
Dead ball. False start.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 58, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Devontae Love-Taylor, the leader of that offensive line. Mike Norvell raved about him when we visited yesterday. Transfer from FIU. 3rd down and 8. Still Corbin in there.
Yeah, they're trying to protect.
Yeah, they're not fooling anyone.
But would you put Blackman into the game for a play? I mean, Corbin is almost certainly not going to throw it as a running back. They're just hoping he can get the 8 yards, and he won't get back to the line of scrimmage. The Hasek wrapped him up.
Well, he's run the ball a lot. He's taken a lot of shots. He comes right down on his left shoulder. I think that might be the play because he's definitely favoring his left shoulder, the left side of his body and arm. And I think that Mike Norvell and Kenny Dillingham saw that, and they said, we can't call his number again right now. Now, they did call it on the 3rd down. He showed guts to get that 1st down.
Just to get the snap off of the field goal, and Ryan Fitzgerald misses badly wide right. Well, he's had a couple of misses here in the 2nd half, and Grayson Atkins for North Carolina missed on their last possession. Agonizing for Mike Norvell, eyeing a big upset in his first year as head coach here at Florida State. Next Saturday on ABC, the Big Ten is back. Michigan and Minnesota. What a great way to start the Big Ten season. 7:30 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app. And game day will be in Minneapolis. Boy, we were there last year. What atmosphere they had there. Of course, no fans this year, unfortunately. Javonte Williams, a very late flag thrown after he was on the ground, chopped down by Miko Dotson and Emmett Rice. Through it.
You know, I think it's going to be a
Personal
chop block.
foul. Chop block.
Yep.
Offense, number 73 and 68. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
Yeah, this is a costly penalty against North Carolina. The play was going outside, and this happened right over the ball. 1 player, the center, Anderson, was engaged, and the guard, McKeithen, cut the legs out. That was a good call.
And the clock an issue for Carolina. 6.5 to go, and it's moving. They have just one timeout left. Howell back into his own end zone. Has to get rid of it, throws short. Good pressure tonight.
Yeah.
It's remarkable how much pressure that they brought tonight relative to previous games.
And that's really been the difference. I mean, in the game, Sam Howell has not been comfortable for much of this game. Now, he looked better in the third quarter, but they've been able to knock him around, knock him down. A couple times they hit him late, but they have made his evening a lot more uncomfortable than he's been so far in this 2020 season. Got to think about getting half of the yardage back here.
2nd and 20. Howell up for grabs, and there's a flag. And is it a catch?
Yeah, I think it was a clean catch. A beautiful throw by Howell.
And no flag. I thought they were celebrating on that sideline because they were wanting a flag thrown for that hand slap right there on Emmett Rice, but they were applauding the catch between his legs and then into his stomach. No doubt about it. 25-yard gain. Williams, tough run across midfield and wrestled down at the 48-yard line by Miko Dotson.
You know, Todd, the thing that I also like about both of these backs, they really can catch the football. I mean, they are both good running routes down the field, catching swing passes. They are more than guys that can just run the football.
And how about the ability of Williams to turn back and adjust to that football?
Yeah.
What a play
for a big man.
There's 125 yards rushing. Howell, look out from behind, got it off, and it didn't reach De'Ami Brown. And Brownlee again bringing pressure via the blitz.
Yeah, if he's able to set his feet before the contact, he's got Brown wide open and running across the field. Just not able to get enough on that football.
Howell 17 for 29 for 308, 2 touchdowns and an interception.
He only had 4 incompletions last week against Virginia Tech.
Never thrown an interception in the fourth quarter. Big reason why they've been such a great fourth quarter team. He's spinning around. He's almost to the line. Prayer up for grabs and out of bounds. Caught by Daz Newsome, but out of the back of the end zone.
That end zone's a little confusing because the Garnet goes a little bit further than the end line. And
it's that first line there that he's behind.
The first line, that's right.
It's the back line, so he's actually well out of the end zone. You're right, it is confusing. If it was the back line, it looked like he would have been in. Third down and 10. You'd have to think 4-down territory, 2 plays to get the yardage. With 5:26 to go. Pressure. Howell. There's a flag down. Did they grab a face mask? Howell's head spun around. Daz Newsome the catch.
I think that's what it's going to be. Jarvis Brownlee again with the pressure. And he got a hold of that face mask as he ran by.
Face mask. Defense. Number 3. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
You saw that head snap back, and then Marvin Wilson was in pursuit. And so 3rd down and long, they get the conversion because of the penalty. For Florida State now, their 9th penalty in the ball game.
Sam Howell, I think he's been pressured much more than anybody anticipated on either side tonight.
Well, they've done it with blitz, and they've done it with just rushing 4. I mean, they just have had constant pressure on the North Carolina quarterback.
Terrific game plan by Adam Fuller, their defensive coordinator. Howell has a man open touchdown. De'Ami Brown got behind the defense, and that one was easy. 25 yards.
What a beautiful route. What a beautiful stutter step. Watch the little stutter step. Just freezes the defender. And then Akeem Dent, for whatever reason, took a peek into the backfield to see the quarterback. And Brown's too fast to do that. Once he got behind him, there was no closing the gap.
Howell saw Florida State show the blitz too early. And he knew that he's going to have one-on-one on the outside.
Still got some fight.
Touchdown pass of the night for Sam Howell. Grayson Atkins, the extra point. It is a three-point game with 4:58 to go.
Quarterback Jordan Travis is dealing with the left shoulder injury. He tried to lift his left arm to test his mobility of that shoulder and looked uncomfortable, but could lift his arm partially, seemed satisfied, put a helmet back on, and told his teammates, "I'll be okay." John?
James Blackman was warming up. The coaches told us since Travis became the starting quarterback, Blackman has remained a team leader. We've seen that tonight.
Oh, yeah.
His comportment on the sidelines, just down there encouraging his teammates as they got ready to come back onto the field. Here's Kevin Nagandi in the studio.
Sean, Alabama was once down 4 to Georgia. They have scored 21 straight points against that great defense. Mac Jones over 400 yards in the air, 4 touchdowns, 2 to Devontae Smith, 41-24 tie. Back to you.
8.5 to go, but it's looking like that'll send Nick Saban. It was a game-time decision to 22-0 all-time against his former assistants. Let's see what they can do here with Travis. Looks like the right side of the offensive line took off prematurely.
Now, there's just under 5 minutes left in the game. This
offense, number 51, 5-yard penalty, first down.
It's just a tough situation right now for Kenny Dillingham and Mike Norvell. I mean, their team is still trying to figure out how to win. They've played great. North Carolina has come roaring back, and your quarterback's not 100%. How do you call the last 5 minutes or this possession in particular?
And 1st and 15. Damian Webb stuffed after a 1-yard gain. It does look like they've sat on the lead. Well, the tempo is slowed down. The play calling's been more conservative. In the last 5 drives, they have missed 2 field goals. You think back to the opening possession of the half. They went right down inside the 10-yard line. It's 31-7. Looked like it was going to be 38-7. They got a dead ball penalty for a slap. Ended up trying the field goal and missing it. 38-7 there. It might be an entirely different story than what we're watching right now. Travis throws quickly. Ontario Wilson down to the 25. He'll need 10 on this 3rd down. And bear in mind, North Carolina kind of threw away 2 timeouts here in the second half. Only 1 left.
Well, right now, North Carolina's defense is very aggressive because they are not feeling like Florida State's going to try to throw anything deep down the field. They're very aggressive. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring pressure right here on Jordan Travis.
And I would take a shot vertically.
Yeah, I mean, Wilson had the 1 catch, the big catch. He hasn't done anything since. Now they got him, I think, in a slot to try to isolate him.
And then the play clock all the way down to 1. Travis. He's across the line of scrimmage and well short of the line of the game by about 4.5 yards. Tamari Fox took him down.
Well, they've not been able to contain him as a runner too much tonight, but that play was critical, and they did get the stop. And you see him coming off the field kind of hanging that left arm still.
And again, with encouragement from Blackman. And Travis told us that quarterback room, they've had 3 different starters in the first 4 games, but it's as tight as it can be. They're all trying to help each other, supportive of each other, and boy, Blackman has demonstrated that tonight.
And remember the false start penalty to start that drive, their 11th penalty of the game, really set them back behind the chains.
Mastromano with no rush. Good punt. Drives Daz Newsome all the way back to the 22-yard line. 46-yard punt, no return.
Well, pretty quiet first half for Sam Howell, but he has lit it up in the second half. Moving in the pocket, finding open guys. Of course, Javonte Williams has been a big-time receiver. And then Bo Corrales, the big receiver, going vertical. They really started to attack vertically against this Florida State defense in the second half. All of a sudden, Sam Howell is up to 342 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. And North Carolina is only 3 points down in the ballgame.
And they're used to being in this situation. Last season, 9 of their 13 games were decided by 7 points or fewer, the most for any team in the country since 1936. They went 4-5 in those 9 games, lost 2 in overtime. 2.5 to go against the blitz. Howell can't find anywhere to escape. Wrapped up by Janarius Robinson. And this is taking a lot of valuable time off the clock here.
Well, they fooled Sam Howell because they faked like they were bringing the corner blitz. Asante Samuel looked like he was blitzing, and then they changed the defense and brought the middle linebacker Steven Dix instead. And that was who was able to get to the quarterback, Sam Howell. A lot of time and a negative play to start the possession.
And taking a lot of time to get it off. 4 sacks for the Noles. Up for grabs. And caught!
Oh, my goodness.
By that long frame of Bo Corrales. Jump ball, and he won it from Miko Dotson there to the 50-yard line.
I mean, this is perfect coverage by Miko Dotson. He's in position. He's got his head around. He goes for the ball. It's just a bigger guy fighting for the football and catching it at a higher point.
1:37 to go. Javonte Williams in big trouble. And they stop the clock to rule him out of bounds. But that's a big loss. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 43. Here's Grayson Atkins, who's long this season, is 35, but he did make a 55-yarder at Furman. Whom he kicked until this year, a grad transfer. He arrived at UNC.
I keep going to Corrales. I find where he's at, unless he's up against Asante Samuel, I look for him and give him a chance to make plays on the ball.
Howell going deep and incomplete for Antoine Green, but there's a flag down. He only got one arm up, which makes you wonder if Miko Dotson was holding the other.
Been a rough night for Miko Dotson.
Defense, number 9. 59 penalty, automatic, first down.
Not just on giving up a couple plays, but now the penalty. He's come off the field. Yep, he's holding the left arm back. He still has a hold of the left arm. Easy call. He's got it hooked. That's an easy call to make. Dotson's awful. He's hobbled off the field a couple times, too. That's being looked at. A rough night.
They're at the 42. Carter. Cut back, got a yard, and that's it. Marvin Wilson's had a big second half. You joined us late. Florida State led 31-7 at the half. They've not scored. Here in the second half, Mack Brown told Molly McGrath at halftime, he told his team they could be a part of the biggest come-from-behind win in UNC history. If they punch it in the end zone and win, he'll be right. Under a minute to go. Sam Howell, deep again. Corrales off his hands and incomplete. And again, it was Miko Dotson in coverage. Looked like Corrales from here should have caught that one.
Well, that's where you got to go. I mean, he's had a night.
He's being held again. Look at the jersey pull there, but that one's right off his hands.
You got to bring some coverage over the top to help on him because Miko Dotson does not have confidence. Now, right now, Corrales out of the game, getting a breather on 3rd and 9.
I don't think this would be field goal range. You wonder how they'll play it. Timeout, Florida State.
Timeout, Florida State. Their first time out of the half. 30-second timeout.
Instead of keep bombing it deep, you try to get at least some to make either the field goal a possibility or make the fourth down conversion easier.
Sean, I talked to Mac Brown before the game, and he said, you know, Atkins is 0 for 2 beyond 40 this year, but he has a huge leg. He said normal situations, we'll go from about 37, but if we need it in a game-winning situation like this could be, we could go as far as 43, 44 yards.
Here's the only thing I would say about that is that you got big Marvin Wilson, who's blocked 2 field goals this year, and they blocked a punt tonight.
Low kick
and that far. I think you got to try to get a completion here to shorten that distance for the field goal attempt.
Well, Atkins, as we said, was an All-American at Furman. Once made a 55-yarder there. One point in his career as a Paladin, he made 18 straight field goals. The Southern Conference record, he's a good kicker, but from here it'd be about 59. Win really not much of an issue.
What you can't have here if you're Sam Howell is a set.
3rd down and 9, 48 seconds to go. Can they pull off the biggest comeback? It's another drop ball. That is a killer. Daz Newsome right around the line to gain. Has it clang off his hands.
That's unfortunate. That's a very catchable pass. They get the first down there, probably.
Atkins is there as if he'd be willing to give it a shot if the coaches want him to. But they're not going to try.
It's a light wind, but it's at his back.
Yep.
I think Mac Brown has more trust in Sam Howell right now than his kicker.
2 costly drops. Here's the play of their season. Howell dropped again. 3rd in a row. They would have had the first down. Javonte Williams could not catch it. Will not be the biggest comeback in North Carolina history. They got a case of the drops when they couldn't afford it.
Watch Marvin Wilson. He's played so hard tonight. He's the guy that's going to force Sam Howell out of the pocket. Howell shifts his hips. He's got an open receiver. And for the 3rd time in this drive, a drop ball. And Florida State's going to win the football game.
A huge victory for Mike Norvell. And Mac Brown still hasn't had a win against his alma mater. Sam Howell, once committed to Florida State, well before Mike Norvell arrived. Decommitted when Walt Bell, the former offensive coordinator under Willie Taggart, left to go to UMass as the head coach. Howell brought him back valiantly. He put the ball right there on all 3 of those throws. All of them dropped to end the game. And this proud Florida State program has a huge win.
You feel bad for North Carolina. You feel great for Mike Norvell. And if you're a college football fan, you need and want Florida State to be good again. It's good for college football. This is a great place with great tradition. And this was a tremendous win for the Seminoles tonight. You wonder about the status of Jordan Travis going forward in his left shoulder and how serious or significant that might be.
I think he played with one arm tied behind his back.
He's tough as nails.
Wow, he sure is. Boy, he showed his competitive grit. In the first play of this game, when he scored the touchdown after the block punt, really set the tone for the night. They were on the ropes late.
North Carolina ended up with 558 yards of offense, but such a better defensive performance for Florida State from start to finish.
Excruciating loss for North Carolina. Here's Molly McGrath.
Coach, your defense has been searching for their identity, and they are the ones that sealed this win. What are you most proud of?
These guys just fought for first 60 minutes. Obviously, we jumped off to the big lead. North Carolina did a great job coming back, but we kept playing. We knew it'd come down to one play, and at the end of the day, our guys were in position to make that play.
You just took down the #5 team in the country. After all of the adversity that you faced this season, how good does that Gatorade bat feel?
It's unbelievable. These kids have done a great job believing in what we're asking them to do. They go to work every day just trying to improve. That's all we're trying to do is get better each and every practice, every rep that we get, and this is a payoff. This is what it's all about. Just so proud of this football team and what they accomplished tonight.
Jordan Travis finished this game with his left shoulder hanging by his side. What can you tell us about his status and his health?
Jordan, unbelievable competitor. Played a great game. Still some things we're going to learn from, but he's in good shape. Looking forward to continuing on with him and what he brings to this football team.
Your players have said we're close to a turnaround. What will this win do for them?
And this win was a great example of just how to respond to adversity, to continue to fight, continue to play. All we're trying to do is get better with each opportunity we get. We're going to come back to work tomorrow, go to practice, clean up the mistakes. But tonight is a great night. We're definitely going to celebrate this one.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats.
Thank you so much. Go Noles.
Celebrate as well he should. It's amazing how fast they're improving.
Absolutely. Since Jordan Travis took over, here's the last 3 plays. Could have been a hold, but still could have been a catch also. No call on that one. A play later, Daz Newsome over the middle, 3rd down. It's got to be a catch. If you're the #5 team in the country, you got to find a way to win this. And then on 4th down, another drop. What a win.
Led by Jordan Travis. He's with Molly.
Jordan, you finished this game with your left shoulder hanging by your side. What can you tell us about your health and how that shoulder's feeling?
I feel great. We won the game. I can't feel any better than I feel right now. I'm thankful for the boys up front and my guys making plays. The defense came up big today, and I'm very thankful for them.
I could tell down the stretch that left shoulder was bothering you. What did it take mentally to win this?
The boys just keep pushing me. It's not me. It's everyone else around me. They keep pushing me. They give me motivation to keep going. I just want to play for them.
All of your teammates keep saying a turnaround is coming. You guys have faced so much adversity. What does this win do for this program moving forward and the confidence of this team?
It's a great feeling. We feel great. There's no better feeling in the world than winning. But we got to enjoy tonight, enjoy tomorrow, and get ready for next week.
I'll let you enjoy this win. Let me see you move that left shoulder up. There we go. All right, congrats.
Performance by Jordan Travis. He ran for 107. He threw for 191. Played through obvious pain at the end of that game. You have a feeling this is the program on the way back